Snow continues across the region, a heavy band from Fargo just south of Grand Forks right into central South Dakota and Nebraska. We do have northern Minnesota with bands of moderate to heavy snow. It's a very heavy wet snow. We're going to share pictures, look at the road conditions and what you need to know as you start your Saturday, a snow day on this holiday weekend of Easter. Let's get started, but first I'm meteorologist Hutch Johnson, and I've been covering the weather up here in the Northern Plains for the better part of 30 years, and what a day we've had overnight from midnight where we had no accumulation of snow, a trace. It had started to this morning by 7 o'clock, 8.5 inches here in South Moorhead. It's a heavy, wet, slush, cement type of snow out there. Let's get started. Thanks for all of your uploads. I'm going to share your photos and your reports as well. It's a team here on Hutch's Weather. Thanks for joining, and I see you, Kim. Thanks for joining. Let's go ahead and get started. Drop a comment. Let me know if you like the video. Hit like and hit the subscribe button. Let's get going. Here's a look at that radar, full up and center. As we take a look at the region, here's the latest scan. We'll start in the eastern part of the Dakotas from Jamestown, North Dakota, down into Highmore and Eureka, Aberdeen, seeing some snow. Remember, on the models I was showing that Sisseton Hills area tends to ring out a few extra flakes, and that looks like that trend is continuing. Now, Fargo sitting in just a tiny bit of a hole right here, right now. But as you go to the north, the Mayville area, Highway 200, picking up a heavier band and swath of snow that extends from not far from Tower City out here, Valley City, on up through Mayville and Arthur right now. Halstead picking up a heavy dose of snow fertile. I want your photos uploaded on hutchesweather.com, and we'll share some snow reports out here. 5 inches reported out in Monoman County at Lengby out there. So snow reports are coming in. How about out here? We have a 12.5 inch report already by the emergency manager in Lemoore. Oh my goodness, that's a footer right there. And here we go with 5 inches of snow reported in McIntosh, North Dakota, just 5 miles northeast of Ashley. That's McIntosh County. So a few reports coming in. The snow continues out in Wisconsin. All these pink tabs you see here, you got ice, and that's not nice. Once again, as that's moving forward and lifting. Now notice, as this lifts northward, the colder air makes its way in, so we have some rain showers showing up in and around the Twin Cities. That's what's going on with that. Let's get right to the roads here because we have a lot to share with you. We're going to start with North Dakota. We have a look at the map here coming up as it loads. Now, one thing to keep in mind is the conditions outside. Enough for a no travel advisory from this area here in Lemoore County, Stutzman County, Barnes County, as we go down into the, well, Ashley and Wishick areas also. No travel is advised in these areas by the DOT, and there were reports of a foot of snow out there in Lemoore County going south of Jamestown. This is what the camera looks like. Let's go into Jamestown here on Interstate 94. No travel advised. Very thick, heavy, wet snow out there. Now, no travel advised doesn't mean it's illegal to travel, but it's going to be quite difficult. Best to stay home. And if you get stuck out there, it could be a long time before anybody can get out there to help you. And you may find yourself stuck in the route of emergency vehicles or snowplows trying to open the roads or get through for emergency purposes. So really only necessary traffic advised through the region. You're looking here at Valley City, a big dump of snow and flaky goodness there. Going south, let's go into southeast and south central North Dakota. Here's Wishick. That's a mess in Wishick. I got to tell you, time to get you some Wishick sausage and head on over and just sit back and enjoy the day. Here is a look at Lemoore County. Now, let's see if I can find the camera here. Okay, my apologies. Okay, check this out. This is Verona. My Verona is loaded with the snowna. It's all very snowy there. Now, I-29 south of Fargo, as we go into Richland County right here at the Morton exit, this is what things are looking like in that zone. And again, it's just not fun to drive out there. So the purple counties are a travel alert. Things are pretty slick out there and snowy. Now, in the red, that's that no travel advisory, and it does include Barnes County and Stutzman County. So from Tower City in North Dakota through Medina out there in western parts. A good, healthy amounts of snow, over 8 inches, were reported in and around the Bismarck area. We'll go over snow reports, but first, let's move on in to our South Dakota counties and show you some road conditions there. Here we go as we take a look up in the north central part of the state. Again, we do have some rough and tough tumble conditions. Let's go into the northeast quadrant on the I-29 corridor. So in Sisseton, near the Sisseton Hills, we have a lot of that sticky cement on your area roads out there. This is Interstate 29, and again, it does not look like we have no travel advisories issued in that area. That's the good news as far as that goes. Now let's take a look out to the east of there just a little bit as you get into the hills, and not far from the Ellendale area here. This is Frederick, South Dakota, and this is what things are looking like there. And that's US 281 that runs north and south through the Dakotas, and that is just a very thick sludge of a photo there from that region. So heavy snow in South Dakota, particularly the northern branches. And now let's check out Minnesota right quick. And I got to tell you, the snowfall all the way from the central part of the state to the northern tier in international border counties is covered in pink, completely covered roads with snow out there. We have some pictures from your area here. We'll show you in just a second. Let's get up to, well, it's hard to read some of these towns here. Let's go to Monoman County here. And if you're traveling that US 59 corridor, that's nothing but icy snow. You get the picture. Things look a lot alike. Lake Park on Highway 10 to the east of Moorhead, Minnesota here. This is what things are looking like there. You can't even see the road. There is a track, so somebody tried to sludge through there just not long ago. Now, let's get outside of Fargo here and go on Interstate 94. We can see that the plows are keeping one lane pretty well swept clean there, but this is heavy wet, and it's still snowing out there. We're going to go over your forecast here as well. Now, let's go up north near the Crookston zone here, East Grand Forks, Fisher, in this area, and they are picking up a healthy dose of snow as well. So that swath that we had in the forecast of those pink lines on Hutch's graphic of that 5 to 10 plus, it's on. We've already got that, and we're on the way to the plus for many of us, and that includes us here in the Fargo-Moorhead area, as we're not going to be far from that 10 inches here, the way it looks to me. Now, you're going to measure differing amounts across the region, and let's get to the important stuff. Gosh, it's good to have you, Todd. Thank you. I'll address some questions here, so if you have them, drop them, and then I will scroll through each one, and we will go. Stick with me here as we take a quick look at the forecast. I do want to say that we're going to see the snow. When's it going to stop in your area? When's it going to start in your area? And what's going on with our weather right now, Hutch? How long is this going to last? We are nowhere near done the way it looks. Here is the latest high-resolution model. The weather balloons were launched at 7. At 8, they get to the top of the atmosphere as far as they can reach before those balloons pop, and down they come. Then we press the go button with all this fresh data worldwide. Okay, only twice a day do we get a snapshot of what the atmosphere looks like, moisture, temperature, all the way from the ground up to about 10 miles. And that's a lot of information that can go in these models. And it's why Hutch likes these models that run first thing in the morning. They start running at about 8 a.m. this time of the year. And then at night, they start running about 8 p.m. this time of the year. So the data that comes out there is a lot more reliable because it has real information on temperature and moisture characteristics of the upper atmosphere. We do have some ways to plug in some data from satellite and aircraft and other sources, but this is really the best time, and our models tend to do a little bit better when we put real data in. The saying in meteorology is garbage in, garbage out. So if we put guesses in, sometimes those guesses can lead to even, well, more errors in our guessing of the forecast. Okay, so let's start with this model, because this one is using that weather balloon data. This is the high resolution model. You can see snow ending out in Bismarck. That is true. That's what's happening right now. This model's still coming in, so it's not completely done, but I think it gets us through our day. We see snow continuing through 15Z. I'm sorry, the only way I can plot this on this particular software here is to, well, throw it at you and do the math for you. So this is 1100 hours, because this time of the year we subtract 5 hours in the central time zone. So 1100 hours for us puts us at 11 a.m. So we're still snowing in that band of moderate to heavy snow, still flirting with the central Red River Valley here. And now let's smooth on over. How long does it last? This is the 1 p.m. time frame, and the snow at least is lightening up for Fargo. It's done in Grand Forks. It's done in Hallock. It's done in western Russell County. And then as we go into Lakes Country, Here's Becker County. So Lake Park that we just looked at your camera and the conditions there, that looks snowy. And look at this, all the way up to the Red Lakes area here. So on the northern parts of Beltrami County, yeah, we're talking about that heavier band continuing to dumpy dump on you. And then it looks like here, Badette all the way out towards our friends in the Rainy River area, seeing just some really great goodness. International Falls, it's going to be internationally falling snow throughout the day. And then look at this, things lighten up in the Arrowhead for now, but this band is going to be moving out by 19Z. This is generally about 1 to 2 o'clock as we go into Fargo here. It should be wrapping up by that time. So what is this? This is 3 p.m. It should be moving out into, well, parts of Clay County still seeing snow. Glendon, Hawley, you folks still seeing some snow. And it continues to track its way off to the east as the low pressure system moves through. So last night we were worrying about a dry slot, but we talked about that. And if you missed Hutch's weather and you want to learn some fun meteorology, what I was looking at there, the upper level low is moving over the area and it's continuing to do so. And as that happens, it's gonna, the heavy snow, as long as there's moisture in the air, it is a factor, will lead to the heavier band of snow tracking. And this system tracked perfectly through our area to deliver some much needed moisture now to Minnesota. So let's go ahead and take a look at your photos because you have Hutch's weather, my attention. We've gone over roads, we've gone over radar, we've gone over the forecast now. But what does that mean for additional snow? You betcha. I got you covered if I can find that now. Let's just switch this puppy over to additional snow. This would be from the additional snow from the time the model started running at 7 a.m., just so you're aware, and we're talking about the same cheese. All right, here we go. So this is a look at the snowfall potential. Look at your city on the map. Here's Fargo, here's Grand Forks. Here's Jamestown Valley City. As you go down here, here's that Hankinson area. And then as you go out into Minnesota, we do have on the map up here for Bemidji, you do have Thief River Falls showing up as digits for us, as well as Wadena and our neighbors off in Fergus Falls as well. So let's put this into motion so you get a picture of what this is. By the time we get to the noon hour, notice the snow stops accumulating here in the valley. So by 3 o'clock in the afternoon, it's done. I'm going to let this run through the evening model here. And now we can take a peek together. Anywhere you see the pink is going to be over 6 more inches of snow. So you're looking at an area here from Monoman County. Well, there is the Norman County zone, and this is Clearwater County into Bemidji. Looks like a little hole taken out of the storm in Bemidji, and that's this particular model. So we can compare models and take a look, but I think that this will give us a good idea that that heavy swath will be just south of Grand Forks, moving right through you folks in Crookston, Foston, Fertile, right up into Red Lake Falls, Thief River Falls with some heavier snow. So in the blue areas here, that's where we're going to see a quick ramping up or down from nothing all the way up to this 4 or 5 inches over just about 20 miles or so. So this narrow heavy band is being picked up by the radar. So again, an additional 6 inches of snow or more in a few of these places. Let me see what the peak is showing up here in the middle of the pinks. Oh, I'm seeing another 9 inches. So we're going to go with, if you see the pink in your area, you're looking at 6 to 10 inches of additional snowfall. This goes right through our friends in Monoman County. That's Clearwater County. We're going up into northern Beltrami County, Lake of the Woods County on the southeast side. So as you get down towards Roosevelt down here south of the big lake out there, and then moving on into the Rainy River there, those digits there look to be pretty heavy. Notice that if you are down here, you're on the very warm side of this system. It's going to be more slushy. If you are traveling to the Twin Cities, when the conditions are safe and you feel safe to drive, then, and the roads are open, we showed you there's a lot of completely covered roads. It's going to continue to be terrible in the northern half of the state all the way through tonight. But down south toward the Twin Cities, down south into South Dakota, as far as additional snowfall goes, as long as those roads get cleared, and once they do, we should be in business with regards to your traveling plans out there. Wondering if all my friends who are asking about their flights got out, make sure you check them before you do, and make sure that you have that survival kit with you in case you get stranded in a deep old snowbank. That's a look at snow. Now let's take a look at that ice that's been going on too, because we've had enough of that in areas of Wisconsin. Is there more ice coming today? So let's take a look at that freezing rain factor in the storm. And really, that's pretty much moved out. I got to get my body out of the way. But basically, the UP of Michigan and northern and eastern parts of Wisconsin seeing that. Oh, hi, Leo. I hear Leo the cat. He's down here visiting with me. Let's go ahead and take a little look at what's going on with your photos. So thanks so much to all of you who've uploaded photos to hutchesweather.com right through the mobile app, Hutch's Weather app. And if you're following along on the app, go ahead and open it up. You can get your road conditions and you can upload your photos that you take out there. I'll be uploading a couple of mine too, but I've posted a little bit on there, and then I'm going to get right to your questions here. Thanks for sticking with me. We got questions and answers coming up and your reports. If you do want to drop a report, I go through these in my breaks and deliver them to the National Weather Service, and you'll show up on the snowfall map here as we go through, and they're coming in. Here's Aaron in South Moorhead, 7 inches so far. Now, don't worry if you say Hutch says 8.5. There's no real official amount. Now, we do keep a record at a specific location for the city of Fargo, Moorhead, but we need your reports because I'm telling you, between neighborhood A and B, we can get widely ranging reports. Think of it as looking out over the ocean with waves like this. There's an average level of the ocean, but some neighborhoods, just based on how your houses are situated and how the wind with each storm moves through, will have vastly varying amounts of snow. So we'll have some neighborhoods that get a good 7 here. Hutch's neighborhood has, well, I measured both the front and backyard. Here's what I measured. I measured on the deck. Now, that's not good to do sometimes because snow will blow off the roof and land on your deck. This is not a particularly windy system, but make no mistake, there's wind involved. But it was such a perfect stack of snow, it was easy to measure in multiple places. 8.5 inches. I went to the front yard to compare. Now, I like to look on top of cars because that's a cold surface. It doesn't melt as fast. I believe that is a truer measure of snowfall because it melts when it hits warm ground or maybe the street or the asphalt. So it's just like what in meteorology we call a snowboard. On top of the cars, as long as it isn't too windy, I have 8.5 inches. And then I measured in the yard, and we hadn't measured snowstorm 1 out yet that had 4 inches here in South Moorhead. And now in the yard, I have 11 inches of standing snowpack that all the way down to the grass. So that gives you an idea that this was a real washer in my neighborhood. So again, Aaron, thank you for looking at this and sending it in. 7 inches in South Moorhead. Great job measuring, and thank you for getting and using a ruler. Here's a picture from Janie in West Fargo. Oh goodness, look at the meeting place out here. I don't know if that's a meeting place or the fire pit, but it's looking like it's going to be a while before we gather around the fire. This looks like 5 1/2 inches in Horace, Minnesota. Thank you for your measurement. And again, a lot of times you'll hear us say, get away from the garage, get away from the house. But again, if you take a few measurements like I did, front yard, backyard, left side of the yard, right side of the yard, maybe don't go to the deepest part. Okay, and then don't go to the shallowest part. Try to pick something that looks average, measure a few places, and divide it by the number of measurements, and voila! You got yourself a good average for your yard and your area. Check it out, Riley and Kindred here. It looks like that measurement is sitting at 8.5. Again, different measurements, different areas, and different neighborhoods can give us different results. Bill in Rendezvous Park, West Fargo. Look at the weight of the snow on the trees. I was noticing the same thing. At least we haven't seen these trees leaf out yet because that would cause broken branches aplenty out there. Bill, did you send a report here too? Wet snow coating the tree on that one. And now let's see, Holly. As of 7:30 a.m., Nicholas sharing this one. I should go rotate it in here, but I can look. It's 5.5 inches out in Hawley, Minnesota. Here's a look at Don in Prairie Wood. Thanks, Don, for your measurement. I appreciate you, and I hope you're doing well, my friend. All right, it looks like a good measurement there of a solid 7+ inches of snow out there by the golf course. Do you have your glow-in-the-dark, glow-through-the-snow type golf balls? Now, Bill, Rendezvous Park, you can take your cone and measure it, okay, and see how much snow is in it. Then you bring it inside, melt it down, and you can pour it into a graduated cylinder like this, and boom, you can get a list of the measurement. We're approaching 7/10 of an inch of liquid moisture in the 8 inches of snow. So again, that's about that 10-to-1 ratio there or whatever, not far from it. A little bit more than that, depending on how much snowfall Bill measured. Bill, oh, there's the tape, 6.5 inches in West Fargo there. Bill, thank you so much. That's a very thorough report. It's a very heavy, wet snow. Ashland, Wisconsin. Hi, Wisconsin. Good to see you on board here. Lord, I was worried about some snow, but I'm also was worried about some ice, and it says here it's sleeting and 32 degrees in Ashland, Wisconsin. Those are little snowballs, balls of ice that add up and become what looks like snow. Yuck. I hate when that happens. Ashland, Wisconsin, 32.1 degrees. That's the perfect temperature to get that mixed variety of precipitation at the ground. Avis, thank you for uploading here, South Fargo, and look at the boughs of the tree here, really bending over in the weight of the snow. It will not take long this time of the year for this to all melt away. So please be careful shoveling this stuff. Give yourself plenty of time and breaks to do it. It is heavy stuff. It's a heart attack snow, and we call it that for a reason. This is the patio by Avis in South Fargo, and that snow blower or lawn mower there is ready for use. Ready for use. Just got to dust it off a little bit. Ava's sharing more pictures. Jeff sending this in Jamestown. Look at that mess. Okay, so, it will melt eventually when we start warming up. 7 inches of snow here. Stacy Coleman sharing this in the Cheyenne River Valley, north of Catherine. Thank you for sharing your photos with all of us here. 7 inches there. And here, if you can't beat them, join them. This was from the first round of April snow. Boston, Minnesota, and Jill here sharing, entering the snow bunny. So that's a pretty fun one, huh? I think the bunnies for Easter may get lost in this deep snow out there, but it's not canceled. So it'll be fun, and the snow will be gone. Thief River Falls measuring upwards of 8 inches. That was from round 1. So that's a look at all of your photos. Keep them coming. And now your questions. So I'll put the radar back up here. And again, we do have no travel advisories in the state of North Dakota, and we do have snow continuing to fall. And we went through the forecast, and in Fargo, it's going to keep falling till about 2 in the afternoon or so. And the snow will eventually decrease in its intensity, but we still have a chance to pick up at least another couple of inches here in Fargo and up to 6 inches in northern parts of Minnesota or more. So now the snow reports are coming in. We'll get to those, but I want to get to your questions because we used your pictures to go over some snow reports. Morning, Hutch, 6 inches, Wolf Lake, Minnesota. Thank you. Just started up here north of the border, Thunder Bay. Now, Darlene, thanks for watching, and it's coming. It's going to be a long day for you folks because this whole swath will just kind of keep coming all the way through the end of the day for you. It looks like a solid 6 plus maybe 10 inches of snow for your area. Don says 5 inches north of Findlay, but it's warm and compacting as it comes down. That's right. And in the old days, the National Weather Service would have people that would go out just about every hour or two and sweep off a snowboard and measure, they'd measure every hour or two how much was falling. I think that's a better way to measure the actual truthful snowfall that falls because it does compact and it does melt. The problem is we get wind, and around here you just cannot measure it. So thanks for your reports. South Lake Traverse, almost 7 inches measured out there. Thank you, Donnie D6759. No wind yet. Yeah, it's really coming down straight here in the Moorhead area right now as well. It's a messy, messy day, my friend. As my friend eating a Bismarck in Breezy. Thanks, Beaver Sticks. I appreciate that. Dave S, maybe 3016. It's getting deeper in southeastern OTC, Otter Tail County. Seems like 6 inches here from the tracks yesterday are covered. At 64 and seen a lot of meteorologists in my time. Oh my goodness, you're the best. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. It looks like Terrell Leslie. Thank you so very much for the kind words. I appreciate that. Somebody else agrees. Darlene, thank you so much. Donnie D, smash that thumbs up button. Give me some likes. That really does help. So thanks for the reminder. I appreciate the hearts and likes. It does help these videos get out to more folks. I don't know if I sent a notification out on my app this morning because I was hurrying, measuring snow and doing stuff. So I think I neglected that. But bottom line is I'll be here throughout the day so folks can check out what's going on. Brian says, Paul Douglas, George Kessler, now Hutch. Oh, wow, that is quite a crowd. Thank you so much. Best snowman snow season. It is 6 months. That's Dave S. And 6 months of winter is enough. Bring on spring. I'm with you. Mr. Matt just typed in, I went to bed in April and woke up in January. What happened? I hear you. Okay, a ton of stuff coming in on the Facebook side. Welcome, everybody. Thanks for watching, Rita. Thanks for watching, Jenna. 7.5 inches on the deck. Jenna, let me know where you're reporting from. I appreciate all of the measurements that you're giving me. Every one of them is important, but in every message that you give me, it helps if you tell me exactly where you're at as well. So go ahead and drop that information in. 7.5 8.5 inches where? West Fargo, 8 inches, says Rudy. They're coming in so fast that my screen is sliding up on me here. So Todd, thanks for the stars. You're the best. I appreciate it very much. Sonny, thank you for the stars. Barbara, thank you for the stars. Erica, thank you for the stars. Almost 8 inches in Fargo. Rudy, thank you so very, very much for your report. As of 8 this morning, 8.5 inches in South Moorhead since last night. That's exactly what I got. Scott, thank you very, very much. We lost power this morning for 2 hours as well. Whoa. I was out and about. I didn't notice a power outage here in South Moorhead, but thank you for the report. I appreciate it. Bemidji here. It's all I need is snowshoes to shovel. Yeah, it's real slippery slop out there. Melissa, thanks for joining. Is the storm done for Grand Forks? No. You're on the north fringe of it. The snow chances will last till about noon for you. It looks lighter. I don't know that you'll get a lot more accumulation, maybe a half inch to an inch or so, but not far from you, just to the south where you see these dark blues. That's Crookston, Thief River Falls, Red Lake Falls, Foston, Fertile. All of these areas to your south and east have a chance at seeing significantly more snow yet as this storm moves through, and upwards of 6 inches for a few areas in between Fargo and Bemidji. Okay, so that's what it's looking like. Sorry if you missed the forecast. I'll be here all day going through it, updating it. So hit the live button, watch, check it out. I'll keep you updated. Pelican Rapids, how's driving? I can tell you this, Otter Tail County, you can see right now on the northern fringes of it, there's where my finger is. You're looking at Pelican Rapids right where my finger is. And as you go through that area, we're going to have some swaths of snow, but the heaviest accumulations will be right here from Fargo and points north and out towards Bemidji. So I think central and northern Beltrami County, Clearwater County, north of Bagley, we'll see some good snow going on there. And Polk County, most of Polk County, going to get a big dumping of wet goodness on the fields out there. Valley City, question mark, Bob Green. Snow lasting in Valley City. We can see it starting to light up and breaking up in this section just a little bit. That's a little area of sinking air causing it to look like a dry slot. So what we're looking at there is that area sitting with snow. It's continuing to snow in and around the Sisseton Hills. So yeah, in your Valley City area, the snow will end here a little earlier. So let's shoot for around 10:37 for a time when things start looking to lighten up there just a little bit. And it won't end though probably until closer to noon for Valley City. How much we got in Detroit Lakes? William, I would love to know, but we rely on reports from you. So we'll get to those snow reports right after this discussion of questions. 6 inches northeast Ada. Thank you very much. Exciting, says Kevin. Is indeed. And it looks like we have, when should it stop snowing in the Fargo area? I'm going with 2 o'clock in the afternoon. It'll lighten up though. My average in my yard, says Warren, is a foot of snow in Jamestown. Thank you. He said through 2 p.m. for Fargo, Brittany said. So yeah, it looks like 2 to 3 p.m. we'll see that snow wrapping up here, and then it's done. Now, it won't be as heavy as the accumulation we saw overnight. That band has moved to the north, but this blue band here will be going like this as we go through the day. So we'll get another shot or two here in the Fargo area. Hi, Tim, says Holly. Keenan, thank you, and thank you for watching. Jerry, coming down heavy in Breckenridge. Good morning, Lake of the Woods. Keep the snow over there. We have enough. Eddie, thank you very much. I appreciate that. I'm sorry. It does look like Lake of the Woods is going to be on, if you're up on the northwest angle here, you're going to be out of it. But if you go down south towards War Road, you're going to be in it. And then if you go down towards Baudette, you got a lot of trouble coming your way. Now there's this little dry slot moving through right now. So it's kind of a lighter snow in that particular area, but we'll keep that in mind. And I'll do my best to steer it away from you, Eddie. All right. Heather says, hey, Hutch, it's Dawson. I thought it was spring. I know what you mean, Dawson. I'll tell you what. Good job, Weather Kid. Keep up the tracking of the weather. It's fun seeing you love weather. It's awesome. Brainerd, how big is the snow today? Now, the heaviest stuff right here in Brainerd. In fact, it looks like we just got an ice report here. So let me go with that. We got freezing rain being reported, and that was at 7:30 a.m. So do you see how this warmer air mass is pushed up in? Now we got this freezing zone here. So what snow you have is probably going to be about it for now. However, this whole band, the wraparound side, is going to be moving this way as we go through the day. Now, if we go back to the snowfall forecast model, I can tell you it did say that there would be some, but the heaviest band of snow snow, including that range of about 6 inches, is going to be from near Bemidji and Red Lakes area in Beltrami County through Clearwater County, Mahnomen County, and not far from Fargo. That's where this heavier band is going to focus. You can see one of them set up here, and this whole band will slowly make its way off to the east as we go through. Yes, you will get some more snow, but I think you'll be on the shorter side of it. Let's go with a 1/2 inch to another 2.5 inches of snow for Brainerd Lakes area, and that's what Hutch's gut tells him based on what we're seeing. This would be fun in January, but not April. Matt, I agree. Nevis, how about you guys in Nevis? How you doing as you get up out here towards Park Rapids? We're talking about some beautiful country out there. So those trees, all those beautiful trees in Nevis, I got to tell you what you're going to be looking at is going to be another swath of snow making its way in. Right now, you see this warmer air batch moving its way in, but the whole system is moving away. So I do believe north winds take over, your temperatures drop, and you're in for a couple more inches of snow as we go through the day. Heather, any wind? Not a lot of wind. I'll go over the wind speeds here for you. In fact, on the map I have behind me, I'll put the gusts up for us. So we can look at wind gusts now. The numbers you see showing the gusts are only about 20 to 25 miles per hour. Duluth has more rolling off the lake there, 32 miles per hour. Going through northern parts of Minnesota, we have a few areas in purple indicating that those winds and gusts are near 20 miles per hour or so. So we're not seeing ridiculous winds, but it did look like closer to the low pressure system. You get out into Nebraska and down in towards parts of southern South Dakota, and we have some gusts upwards of 35 miles per hour in that area. So no, not a lot of gusts. And in fact, what's coming down here in the FM area, it's more like a holiday snow globe, if you will. So that's a look at that. And here's those temperatures too, just to show you a little bit. The Twin Cities right now sitting in the 34-degree range. That's that warm slot making its way northward. Now that's still cold enough for snow to reach its way down to the ground, but it's melting above the ground. Okay, so when we get a warmer air up above the ground, a warm slot, if you will, a snowflake falls through, it melts, and we get some of that freezing rain or sleet or just flat out rain, because we can get rain at 30 degrees. And hopefully it's not accumulating a lot of ice in that particular area, although Brainerd reported some freezing rain. Temperatures cool enough in War Road, 28 degrees in Devil's Lake, 30 Bismarck, 28 in Dickinson. And now let's take a look at some snowfall reports around the area, and we'll continue answering your questions here, interspersed with all the fun that we're having today. 9 inches, a report by Kristen in Fargo. Tree branches falling in my yard in West Fargo. Big old trees, and it's scary. Vicky, that's not fun. Wayne says, good morning, and good morning to you. Brad says, just called 12 inches of snow in Cullum. Thank you for your report. I'll pass all these along to the Weather Service in between breaks. The stream will go live throughout the day today, so I will be cutting in, and I will try to do better at letting folks know on the app. And in fact, Hutch can go here now and do this. I'm going to try to multitask here. Thanks for putting up with my periods of silence, but Mom always appreciated periods of silence from Hutch. I don't know about you. Okay, so let's go here and let's go with... We're just going to go here. Okay, so if you have my app, I'm sending out a notification to you. You'll hear it make a sound like this. And okay. And so if you have your app, you're wandering about your day and you'll hear your app noise or your notification sound go off, and it's just saying, Hutch is live now, join the party, and we'll talk weather. So we'll continue to do this. You're looking at dots. These dots, depending on their color, represent ranges of snow. When you start seeing yellow, you're getting into the 6-inch category. You start seeing red, that's over 1.5 feet of snow. So this system has been a very, very wet one across much of the northern tier of states, and the Rocky Mountain West that so badly needed snow in parts of Colorado and Wyoming got it yesterday. And now as we take a look at today's snowfall reports here, all of these tiny little icons are snow reports in and around. There's Bismarck and down south. So if you go into Emmons County here, so Hazleton, Moffett, Braddock, and all the way down in towards there, that's like 1 foot, 11 inches of snow reported for that area. Big time snow in Emmons County out there. Now out towards Wishick, same thing goes. 11 inches reported in Strasburg, and on the interstate, we got 11 inches out here in the Steele area. So I'm not a kidder, and Steele has picked up a good amount of snow. And even north of Bismarck here, On the north side on 83, as you go out towards the, well, that's Linton, that's south of Bismarck, my mistake. So these are the snow reports basically lining up so far along and south of Interstate 94. Cullum, you just reported 12, and the Lemoore, south of you, not far from you, we got 12.5 reported there. 10 inches in Foreman. Here's the reports coming in from Fargo Moorhead. Here's Hutch's South South Moorhead report, 8.5. 7.5 inches in North Fargo reported there. So it's been a snowy day here. 7 inches reported up in Sharon. So the Highway 200 corridor up there, and not too far from that, seeing a little bit of snow. As we take a look at Minnesota, you're going to see a lot more snow in some of these areas. This is a look at Ada, 6 inches. And then as we go out here, we got a 5-inch report from Lyngby, but that's where I think that heavy band of snow is going. I see some hearts coming in. Thanks for liking these posts. And again, if you're just joining us, I'm meteorologist Hutch Johnson, and I've been covering weather up here in the Northern Plains for the better part of 30 years, and it's wonderful having you on board. Please, if you think of it, hit the follow button or subscribe to my YouTube channel, and let's go. All right, let's take a look now up here. Way up north, we got us 5.9 inches of snow in Grigla. That was reported on the 3rd at 11:20 at night. So that would have been from the first round of snow. So Grigla, you're in for some more snow as we go through the day today. Notice not a lot of snow reports coming in from near the Twin Cities. Here's one coming in from Evergreen out there, and we're looking at a 2.5-inch start to the day at 9 a.m. on the 3rd. That was yesterday. So that's an older report. Some of these were coming in from late reports from yesterday. So this one was also reported on the 3rd at 9 a.m. So it's now the 4th. Yeah, I had to double check. 7 inches in Horace, Michael says, thank you so much. Snowing in Bemidji, 12 inches in Oriska. Thank you very much. I'll pass all these along. 10 inches in Enderlin, thank you. 7 inches on the deck in the Twin Valley area. And good morning to Marion. Bubbles says 11 inches in Foston right now, just measured, still coming down, and it looks like a long day for Foston. I'm telling you, it looks like a long day in Foston. So if you're just joining here, we've gone over snow reports. We've gone over your 4 photos that you've uploaded. Keep them coming. Those measurements of snow are going to continue to pile up. But these are the measurements that have come in so far. And as we have time, I'll pass your storm reports on to the National Weather Service. And you're going to see your reports start showing up in dots on my map. And you can see this map on my website by clicking snow. Or you can see this on my app by clicking snow reports. This is where it comes from. It comes from you. So we need you to help us meteorologists know how much snow has fallen, because we can't always trust what the radar says, because the radar sees the snowflakes up at cloud level. And there's no guarantee that that's going to reach the ground in your town, right? So keep in mind, the radar is a tool, but it's showing us what's in the clouds and not necessarily what's hitting the ground. All right, let's see what else we got. 2 inches of snow is melting in the Black Hills, mid-50s today. Woo! Thank you much. It looks like Eric, very good. Thank you for your joining the party here. 6:30 flight from Chicago canceled, so I don't have to drive up. I was wondering, Donnie, how about how things were working out there for you. A lot of people were asking, can I get out? I suggested they get here Friday night for their flight on Saturday, but it's canceled, so they don't need to try to drive in this nonsense. So that's good news there. Again, let's go ahead and take a look at the latest radar report here. So Cullum, you got 10 inches, 12 to 12 inches of snow. There's Cullum showing up out there by the Edgeley area. So this is the area. We got a foot of snow, Fredonia, Cullum, Edgeley, Judd, 12.5 inches out there in that Lemoore area. We got a report here that's showing 12.5 inches. Yeah, we're on. That's a big old snowstorm out there. We could sure use the moisture. 10 inches coming in from the Foreman area as well as this system works its way through. Kindred reporting 8 inches of snow. Arthur showing some snow. Woo! We got lots of heavy snow out here, and it's going. So this band here, and sometimes I like to use the radar to futurecast here what's going on. The models just came out. It's new data. It's good data, and it's showing a swath of a continued accumulating snow between, say, 2 and 6 inches in this wide area between Grand Forks and Fargo all the way out through Bemidji, and some places could get another 10 inches of snow inside this. You see why I'm worried for you, Foston? You're right in the track of this, and it will snow in Fargo until 2 o'clock. It ends earlier in Grand Forks. You can see you're on the edge here and things are quieting down, but this band will be making its way slowly eastward. We're done out in western Stutsman County, so if you're in Medina, good to go. Although there's still some snow to clean up around the area. The snow is really lightening up in Jamestown, and you get up here in the Kinsel area and the Cooperstown area. It's done in the New Rockford and Carrington areas as well. You can now start the cleanup process and not have to worry about too much more coming down. If you are in Grafton, I think you have a chance at seeing it for the next half hour. Grand Forks, I do think you'll see it ending first. But I'm going to go with sticking around until close to the midday hour, because this band is just going to slowly work its way to the north as well. So not only is it moving east, but the low pressure system is moving north. So it's going to kind of keep this in the area near Grand Forks, Crookston for a little bit longer than it is for your neighbors to the north in Walsh County, North Dakota, Marshall County, Minnesota. But you're about at the edge of the storm there in Hallock, and it's all but done in Cavalier and Walhalla. It's time to celebrate. How much did you get in Walhalla? Minnesota cold, enjoying some morning coffee, and Hutch's weather still snowing here in Alexandria, and we'll report the depth when we head outside later. I do appreciate that. You can upload a picture on my app or my cell phone from your cell phone. BA, good to see you. Thank you, Aaron, for sending stars, BA. I appreciate it. Wow, you guys are all the very best. 7 Dilworth. Okay, that's real close to Hutch's 8.5. And you know what? It's just a nice, friendly, light snow, but it's a wet, heavy snow that's still coming down right now in Fargo as we are in this lull in Moorhead. And again, this whole batch is going to continue to move through. Will we see a lot more snow? I'm not thinking a lot, but I do think Fargo and points east towards Ada, Monoman, Foston, if you're in this area right here. I'll just zoom in on the map. Shoot, I forgot I could draw on my map too. Let's do that. I like to get out my colors. Okay, so here's this heavy band of snow. It's right here. I don't like that color. I'm going to change it up so it sticks out a little bit more gooder. Okay, so let's go here. Where is it? Miscellaneous. There it is. It's under miscellaneous. Remind me next time. Okay, let's go pick a color that looks like it'll stick out on this map. Okay, here we go. Shazam, shadizzle. All right, we're going to erase that. We're going to go back here. And now we'll go, well, this keyboard's not working. All right. So, here we go. That's still blue. I got to hit apply. There it is. So now we got pink. I don't think that sticks out any gooder. There we go. Now let's go to something that's just good. I want a hot color that we can see. All right. Sorry about that. Here's a band of heavy snow. It's right here. Oaks, Lisbon, Tower City, Buffalo, just off to the west of the FM area. There's a little batch up here. All of this is not only going to move to the north, but it's going to be moving off to the east. So this whole band is slowly going to evacuate the area off to the east as we go through. So if you are in Foston and any of these communities right here, this is where I think we do have a chance at seeing a legitimate 3 to 6 more inches of snow as we go through between now and about 3 to 5 in the afternoon. It will still be snowing in Waban and in Foston at 3 to 5 o'clock in the afternoon, and that's when it ends for you after that. Red Lakes area, Bemidji area, it lasts a little bit longer for your neck of the woods. So, let's see if this works here. There we go. Okay, so, yeah, so if you're in Bemidji, if you're up in the Koochiching County area here south of International Falls, all this activity is going to continue to trudge its way up in your general direction as the low pressure system makes its way through. If you're just joining Hutch, let's go through this forecast hour by hour style once again, just to kind of review where we've been and what's going on. We got a new model run coming in, but I ain't going there. We've talked about why I want to look at the actual models that are originating from sounding data. Here we go. Here's our snow batch. It does start lightening up here across parts of west central Minnesota. So if you're in Grant County, Douglas County, not a lot more for you in the Alexandria area. But as you go into southern Otter Tail County to Becker County, yeah, it's on. In northern Becker County in particular, Fargo, Moorhead, see that line of the dark making its way through? This is noon right here, so it's still snowing. We could get a pretty good burp out of the system as it's exiting the house, and then boom, it goes out into western Minnesota. There's the heavy narrow band right now that as we go into 20Z, that's 3 p.m. So at 3 p.m., it's snowing pretty good in Detroit Lakes, Lake Park, and Glendon area, it looks like it's still snowing for you. So we go up into Bagley, though, and Bemidji and points north towards the Red Lake, Keller area, as well as Black Duck. We're talking about a pretty good fair swath of snow working its way up that way, pushing into International Falls as well. So this is by the time we get to 3 o'clock. So it's ending by 3 o'clock in places like, well, maybe Fertile, and also out here in Halstead. And then as we go through, it's done in the Red River Valley counties of Minnesota by the time we get to 3 or 4 o'clock. And then boom, it's continuing to move off to the east fairly quickly. Then as we go towards 7 o'clock at night, the heaviest of the snow is pretty much gone for most of us, with the exception of you folks up there in Thunder Bay. As we go through the afternoon hours. So that's your forecast and how much more snow it means. We talked about this, but I'm going to throw it back up there because I like throwing up. I say weird things when I've been on the broadcast too long. Okay, here we go. So we are going to get the pocket of goodness here. We'll call that pink area. Anywhere you see the white or pink colors there, that's going to be 3 to 6 plus inches of snow still yet to accumulate. And some of these inside the circle here are showing 5 to 7, 9 inches of snow in a few places. And this is just one model. So now I can go ahead and compare models. Let's do that and see if there's any outliers out here from that model. And now there will be some that are just out to lunch, but let's go ahead and take a look at what these are showing. And we're looking at snow through Sunday night. So let me go all the way out here. Let me go to the right model. There we go. Let's go to this model. Okay, so this will get us through the entirety of the storm. And you can see some models have a big bunch of snow on here. And this is, wait, I want Saturday. Sorry about this. I just got to make sure I'm looking at the right models, not last night's. There we are. Okay, so now this should be the right model. Okay, so now it's loading up. And the time frame is by late tonight. So let's go into early Sunday morning. Okay, so we're not getting any additional snow. This is the model I just showed you. Northern Minnesota, right down through the Clearwater County area and northern parts of Beltrami County. Here's another model, very similar, just not quite as heavy. And it is showing that right from areas Fargo and points north and towards Hillsboro and all the way up in towards the Polk County area here. So Ada, Fosston, I'm talking, and the model is showing about 1 to 5 inches of snowfall for these areas as we go through. So again, 1 to 5 inches of additional snowfall seems to be good until you get up in toward the Arrowhead of Minnesota and the Rainy Lake area, Koochiching County, St. Louis County, and we're looking at 7 to 10 inches of snow in some of those areas yet today to fall on that model. This model looks very similar to the first one I showed you, a swath of pink that hugs the northern tier. Look how fast it goes. I want to show you this. Look how fast this model goes from 7 or 8 inches to nothing. It's just over about a 20-mile stretch. That's how this storm is going to behave up on the north side. I do believe that. How far south does the snowfall go? If you look at these counties here, I'm trying to squint so I can see. This is Bagley, so there's central Clearwater County, and then in the northern part of the county you get more. So this model has a northern shift to the heavy band of snow. This one also shows a more northern hitch to the band of snow, but it's easier to see Clearwater County here. And now you're looking at Red Lake and Pennington counties as well as Polk County, all getting hit with snowy goodness, and that does include you folks in Mahnomen County. Look out, Nadawaska and Mahnomen. That looks like us. Speaking of Mahnomen, can confirm the heavy band is over Mahnomen right now. Thank you, Seamology, or Semeology. Semeology. That sounds good. Maybe you like to sew. A good foot already in Mahnomen right now. Just shoveled the deck, and there's another inch. So coming down good and hard there, and it's good to get some of it done, but take it easy with the snowing out there. Thanks for your stars. Dilworth 7. Oh my goodness, what do we got at Thief River Falls? How much reported for Thief River? I've not heard, Mary Lou, Thief River yet. But as they come in, we will let you know. Solid 6 inches east of Bemidji. Snow globe conditions right now. And you're going to continue to see snow. Bemidji points north. Black Duck, Keller, all the way up toward the Red Lakes area. Waskish is going to get a good dose of snow as we go through the remainder of the day. So it does look like from the Red River Valley near Fargo-Moorhead right up to central Beltrami County and points north. Draw a line there and a swath that might be about 30 to 40, 50 miles wide. That's going to be your swath of heavier snow. Heidi, solid 6 inches just east of Bemidji. Snow globes right now. Yes, I like to sew. You're the first YouTuber that pronounced it correctly. Well, I had to slow down because sometimes I just have to slow down when I'm trying to read. Okay, that is a look at the weather. This is a look at the radar, and I am going to leave you with my page right now to touch up a couple of graphics. I will be back regularly, and before I come on again, I will send a notification to my app. So it's another reason to jump on and download my free app. It's better and different than most other apps out there because it's built with your recommendations. I want to see road reports for the region because I drive truck. I drive across state lines, and I don't want to just see one state. So we got them all for you. Thank you for watching. I'll keep you updated right here. You're watching Hutch's Weather, and now on to some really good music and enjoyment. Here's me down in the corner. You can see me. And on this page, you can come to it on my feed anytime on YouTube and on other platforms, as well as my app and the website. And you will see this rolling throughout the day. Up top will always be the radar, and I'm putting it on a loop of locations so it zooms in and out, and you can keep track of that. I will be updating the graphics in the upper right-hand corner throughout the day. But as you can see, the forecast that's been ongoing here, not looking too bad. Snow reports from round 1 are there, but I will be updating those throughout the day with snow reports from round number 2 that's happening right now. So we'll keep you updated on what's going on with regards to our weather. And as of now, I am going to dive my mic out and turn some music up.
When storms arrive, we go live. With eyes on the sky, we stand by your side. Through the ice and the snow, through the blizzard's call, Hutch's Weather, we're here for it all. Standing strong with you. No matter the storm, anywhere, anytime, at Hutch'sWeather.com.
Don't wait for the next update to stay safe between Hutch's live reports. The Hutch's Weather app is your best way to stay alert. Grab it now and never be caught off guard by the changing weather. If this coverage is helping you stay prepared, consider giving the stream a thumbs up. It helps the system push these alerts to more people in the path of the storm.
When storms arrive, we go live. With eyes on the sky, we stand by your side. Through the ice and the snow, through the blizzard's call, Hutch's Weather, we're here for it all. Standing strong with you. No matter the storm, anywhere, anytime, at Hutch'sWeather.com.
We see you in the chat. Keep the reports coming. Hutch is monitoring your local updates in real time. If you're seeing a change in the weather in your area, drop your city and current conditions now. You are our eyes in the field. Let's build this forecast together. Providing live coverage for the thousands of you across the northern plains is a responsibility we don't take lightly. Thank you for trusting Hutch.
Thank you very, very much. Muted on Facebook, going back home. I hear you. thank you for the heads up on all of that. I'm sorry about that. 14.7 inches now in Cullum. Wow, this storm is producing. So we talked about road conditions. You saw the pictures out there, but the road conditions are terrible. And there's the no travel advisories in parts of North Dakota and completely covered roads in Minnesota and South Dakota. The northern part of the state has the heaviest of the snow bands making their way through. Now we're looking together at this forecast model, and I was just reiterating the timings of the storm system as we go through. My apologies again for not having my mic turned on. Here we go. Looking up to the system as we go through the Red River Valley. Heavier snow in Fargo continues, but it ends as we go through around the noon hour in Grand Forks. So if you're in Grand Forks, if you're in Valley City to Jamestown, you're all but wrapping up out there. That's U2 Cullum, but that's a huge amount of snow. 14.7 inches. Justice, thank you for that report. I'll be passing that along to the Weather Service. I passed a number of those on, and you'll be seeing those making their way through. Now, Fargo will get a heavier dose as we go into the midday hour. I just had a power bump here. So these heavy snow on the area power lines could cause some power issues. Had the lights flickering here, so we hope that don't happen in your area. But I have heard Moorhead had a power outage earlier this morning. Okay. Thank you very much, Julie. I appreciate it and appreciate your patience with me as my lips were flapping, but nothing was coming out of the gas tank there. All right, here, the snow continues. Heavy band moves through Fargo in the midday hour, and then by 2 o'clock, it starts lessening and decreasing, and it's on its way out. So 2 p.m. for Fargo, 2 p.m. for you folks in the Hazelton area, as well as Windermere in southeast North Dakota. But if you're in Lakes Country, that heavier band of snow will be moving over Mahnomen, Ada, Borup. You folks out there in Boston, that looks like it's moving through you, Clearwater, all the way up towards Badette. The chance for the Red Lakes area to pick up some big time snow. And that band of heavy snow, it will continue working its way off to the east. Now we'll get to where I was when we left off, and I'm looking for the snow forecast here so you get an idea of how much additional snow this is from 7 a.m. by the way. So as we look in on the Fargo area, it's got 4 inches for us, and up in Grand Forks, we got us up to about another inch of snow there. So anywhere you see the whiter colors here toward the pink, that's a good 3 to 6 inches. But in isolated places, we're still talking about 8 or more inches of snow in a few isolated pockets like Cullum. Are you kidding me? 14.7 inches, that's a lot of snow. So Hutch's original 7 to 14 plus was not off the bases there. I should have stuck with my gut on that one, but I did lower it a little bit to 10 plus. But that's still a pretty solid forecast for most of us. If you don't mind, in the comments, drop a line with how you think the communication of the forecast is. Does it work for you? Would you like to see more of an explanation of anything? I just tried to tailor things towards what it is that you're looking for. So big time snow moving through the northern one half of Minnesota. The blue, by the way, I talked about the white to the pink, and those places can expect that 3 to 6 plus, upwards of maybe another 10 inches of snow in some of these areas as we go through the remainder of the day here. Now, in the dark blue areas, that's going to be a ramping up from, say, 1 to 4 inches pretty quickly. And then in the light blue, it's just a trace, and it'll probably be gone before you even get your ruler and run outside. Looks like maybe 6 on the railing here in Ellendale, North Dakota. That's very interesting, Tom, because we do have some reports in your neighborhood, and we talked about this too, even in town, particularly in towns. The wind and the buildings really affect how much one neighborhood gets versus the other. I measured my snow both in the front yard and the back yard, and I tried to get away from the house a little bit too to get away from any drifts, but we don't have a lot of drifting. This is just a solid layer of snow. And what I've noticed is that on top of cars, we didn't get a lot of that blowing off, so it's a great place because it's like a snowboard. The car surface stays cold, allowing the snow to build up on it and last a little longer. It is compacting, it is compressing a little bit, but from first thing this morning, I saw 8.5, and now we're at 9.25 inches here in the Moorhead area of South Moorhead. And then in a few neighborhoods away, depending on how the houses are oriented and you know what the wind situation is like through your area, you could have more. Think of an ocean. You can have waves across town. Some of our neighborhoods will have a little bit more, some of them a little bit less, but all the reports do come in handy. So that's what I wanted to touch on there. Now, let's take a look at what's going on with regards to these photos that have come in, because you have just hit the upload button on your phones from Hutch's Weather app and uploaded just a bunch of photos out there today. So I want to thank everybody for that. We'll go ahead and pull the photos up here and we'll show you just a couple of these measurements with rulers. Okay, so again, sometimes when you're really close to the house, it can blow a little bit off the roof and add to the total. So it's good to get an average, but this is a good solid 9 inches of snow in West Fargo. Kathy, thank you so very much for uploading your photos. Oh my gosh, look at the bed of that truck, completely full and level, unless you got a tonneau cover on the back of that thing, Aaron. That looks pretty amazing. Thanks for the upload. This tree here, I've heard of some trees snapping in the area. Kathy in West Fargo says the front yard just has a lot of heavy snow on it. Look at that. It's a grilling time soon, Wanda. Grilling time soon. June is coming, everybody, I promise. All right, and it shows here, look at that beautiful stack of snow in Enderlin. Roxy, thank you. Still coming down in Enderlin as well as Fargo Moorhead. And this fellow here really enjoying his time outside. This is Brian from that Kettle River, Minnesota area. And, you know, the nice dad you are, Brian, shoveling out a nice path there for the puppy. To get out into the yard is a good idea because that looks to be about the size of Pedro. A 24-pound terrier is Pedro, and he was running through the snow today. I have not yet had a chance to run out and shovel out a path for Pedro. Nice work, Avis. Look at the shoveling and snow blowing you did there. That is some nice work. Take breaks. Warren, Jamestown, taken on the sidewalk that was clear and dry yesterday, and that is a solid foot of snow. You can see the 13 up there, so definitely a 12-incher there. Kristen in West Fargo, that looks like a measurement of approaching 9 inches. Approaching 9 inches in West Fargo. Thank you for your photo upload. I do appreciate it. We have more coming. Horace, Michael, look at that view you have. That's amazing and beautiful. The Cheyenne River Valley is stunning. Brittany, thank you. In the James River Valley now. Look at the deck out there. It looks like that chair is calling your name, Brittany. Go have a seat in it and take your picture and upload that. Jessica says northeast of Ada, we got about 6 inches of snow so far. And that's what I'm seeing as well. Thank you so very much. And we got us a handful of snow out there. Randy, thank you, in West Fargo, piled up on the tailgate. Parked outside, taller than the hand. Okay, good deal. And then we got Glenn here in West Fargo. We've got, looks like 7 inches in South Moorhead a little earlier today. So I think we saw some of these. So I'll stop that there. And then I do want to let you know that we do have some good content to share with you here. I wanted to pop this up on my phone. The Hutch's Weather app is a great tool for you because road conditions change hour to hour and minute to minute. And you want to know before you go if there's been changes or a surprise road closing or anything of that nature. So keep that in mind as you do travel about today. Before you go, my app or the website has all the information that you need. So on the website, you click here on my OK Tire road condition page, and you can basically get all states in the region, the Dakotas, Montana to Colorado, Wisconsin, Minnesota, and Iowa, and also our provincial neighbors to the north in, well, Saskatchewan and Manitoba. Your road conditions are all available on hutchesweather.com for you. So keep that going and keep that in mind. And let me see here. All right, so what we have going on here is a little look for you. I'm trying to load up on my phone so we can see what's going on. I think it's, let's see if it has any luck uploading this. Okay, so my phone isn't uploading onto my screen, so that's okay. All right, everybody, thank you. 10 inches so far in the middle of the yard, Southwest Fargo. Thank you, Northern Grace. Appreciate it. You are on target for us. You move across the screen enough that we see what's coming. Otherwise, weather-wise in Ashland, Wisconsin. Thank you. I try to be mindful of that. And plus, if I stand in the same place too long, then my legs hurt. So it's good to move around a little bit, isn't it? All right. I appreciate that very much. Thank you for the feedback. So that's what's going on. Brian, thank you for the heads up. 11 so far, Smoky Hills near Osage and Ponsford. Thank you, Bruce, for your report as well. We got to be close to 10 now, says Jeremy. Let me know your location too. It's real important that I have that. Then I can pass it right along to the National Weather Service. It just slapping me in the back of the head like a 2-ton heavy thing. Justice, I'd love a picture of that 14.7 to put on hutchesweather.com. Head on over there and upload a picture of 14.7. So far, that's the big winner that I've seen for the area. 13 in Lemon was pretty good, and we got a good healthy dose in Cullum as well, 13 inches plus there. So keep in mind, 15 inches in Enderlin. Mega, you got to upload me some pictures, and it's still snowing. Oh, no. This is not fun. Let's go to the snow reports. I did dump a lot of them in on the National Weather Service. They're a busy team today, too, and they do a great job, and I appreciate all of my colleagues over there at the National Weather Service's work that they do. You know what? You just got to keep going. Here we go. Snowfall reports coming in. Yellows, by the way, are 6-inch snow reports or greater. So when we start seeing the light yellow, that's a big-time report. 15 inches in Jamestown reported here. So 15 inches there, 14. So Jamestown, a big-time winner in this system. And then we got ourselves 14.7 out there, a 15 in Enderlin as well, 13 reported in Lisbon, 12.5 reported in Lemoore, 10 inches in the Foreman area here. We got a foot right down here in Hague, and then 12 inches in Linton, 12 inches also now at the Prairie Knights Casino, or Prairie Knights Reservation, I should say. And then as we go up towards Bismarck, the official there was 9+ inches at the airport. So a little over 9 inches there, 11 in Steele. And here we go. We're starting to get even 7-inch reports up here in Sharon. And in and around Fargo-Moorhead, a lot of 9 to 10-inch reports coming in right now. So, and we do have that next big band that's going to be working its way through. An 8.5-inch report here from Muskota, 6-inch report up here in Ada, 6-inch report in Mahnomen. So Ada to Mahnomen, that next band comes through. It'll be interesting to see, but we could get another quick 4 inches on top of what you got to 6 inches on top of what you got. So we could be talking a foot there before we're done. Foston has 11 inches of snow already, and it is still snowing. So thank you for your report. Maple Bay, 4 inches, 5 inches in Langby. Sneaking off to the east here, if we get into the Bemidji area, 7 inches reported there. Outside of town here, Turtle River, that was 7 a.m., a report of 3.8 inches. So 3 to 7 inches across the Bemidji area, and that's what things are looking like. Here's a 6-inch report at Wolf Lake. Yep, I passed that along because of your report. Thank you so very much. Detroit Lakes now. I know somebody was asking for a Detroit Lakes report. 5 inches is what I'm seeing here. 4 inches east of Doran reported. Thank you very much. I'll try to gather those in my next break here. But again, as far as what's changed, road conditions remain tough. We're going to see clearing in the western part of the Dakotas. So in western North Dakota at Bismarck, the snow is done. We'll start to see things improving in this area. There's a foot of snow to remove off of the road surfaces there from Bismarck, 9.5 inches south in towards the Emmons County area for Hazleton, for Moffett, for Napoleon, Wishick, Ashley, Cullum, Jamestown, all over a foot of snow in some of these areas to clear up the road. There's a no travel advisory there. So travel conditions remain tough from Stutzman County and the eastern third of North Dakota until we go through basically the evening hour. Once the snow moves out, the plows will be able to catch up fairly quickly and get some of this sludge off of the road surfaces out there. And that's a look at North Dakota. Fargo to I-29. There are no road closures yet that I see on the map right now, and this does update minute by minute by the DOT crews out there doing the big work of moving all this snow. Minnesota, the road reports showing completely covered roads in the northern 1/3 of Minnesota. A little bit of a blank spot up here for you folks in Kitson and western parts of Marshall County, Minnesota. But other than that, we have completely covered roads in pink, and we do have some area roads down here that are blue, meaning partial coverage, and that kind of ends abruptly as we go down into the central part of Minnesota. So if you're traveling on Interstate 94, the road conditions really do improve greatly by the time we get through Sauk Center heading into the Twin Cities. But we still have some areas with very slushy roads as we go out to the east here, out towards, say, Traverse County and points north towards Fargo. There are some real heavy road conditions that are showing up here. So the pink, again, on Interstate 94 means completely covered roads. You can see they're doing a good job of plowing, but it doesn't take long, and it's building up slush again on the road surfaces. So these change quickly is the point. Check my app and get the latest. Check the website and get the latest. I will be back a little bit later with more updates right here. 10.5 in Langby. Jim, thank you. Closer to 10 to 11 in the Hood. on the hood of the pickup in the driveway opposite the house in Ellendale. Tom, thank you for the report. 10 to 11 inches in Ellendale now, 15 inches in Enderlin. This is just, this is a whack-a-mole kind of storm system, and we talked about it. Here's Hutch's weather forecast from last night, by the way. And I did save some of the stuff that was early on in the forecast period, but 5 to 10 plus with pockets of upwards of 14 inches, I said wouldn't be out of the question. And now we've got 15 inches, so I'm in trouble, everybody. But look at this. Here is the swath, the green lines. And again, the amounts here of that 5 to 10 inside the green lines. 1 to 5 is for inside the blue lines here, as you see. And basically, that's basically spot on. Grand Forks, the cutoff seemed to be pretty close to you as well. Going up into northwest Minnesota, the cutoff was pretty well. So I think this is a pretty solid forecast. Northernmost South Dakota, southeast North Dakota getting hit hard. And then it's going to continue to traverse its way into northern parts of Minnesota through the day. Snow will be ending in Fargo by around 2 to 3 p.m. Snow will be ending by noon up in Grand Forks. So it has a little curvature to it. And as we go into the afternoon, it'll be 5 to 6 o'clock where it starts to end in parts of Lakes Country, eastern Otter Tail, eastern Becker, and it could be snowing all the way till the evening hours in places like Bemidji, Waskish, on up into St. Louis and Koochiching counties, and it'll continue to snow late down here, and then that wraparound will reach the cities and down south. That's when you might start seeing some of these areas pick up an inch or so of that slushy snow. So that's a look at the rundown. That's your rundown for now. I'm going to let everything go through. Yeah, I was muted there, and thanks for your patience on that. I hope to not do that again. And for now, we'll keep you updated right here. You're watching Hutch's Weather. I'll get you back on the 4-panel. With continuing coverage on this Saturday, I've been spending the last several minutes to over an hour compiling all of your reports, passing them to the National Weather Service, and also watching the storm system. We have a very heavy band that's been dump-a-lumping on parts of northwest Minnesota right through the Red River Valley. We have snow totals over a foot and approaching 2 feet of snow right now across the region. We're going to get to the latest right now, but I think one of the important things is we're going to lead with the important stuff, and that's the radar. Here we go. Now, as we take a look, I can tell you right now we're all but done in Jamestown, western Barnes County. Here's Griggs County, you in Cooperstown. It's over. Get out there and clean up a little bit. Take a coffee break. And, you know, while you're at it, head over to hutchesweather.com and order yourself a Shovel Trouble mug right here, or a shirt or sweatshirt. All of your support is appreciated. And by ordering my merchandise, you do the same thing. Now, here it is. Grand Forks, you're on the edge. It's almost over for you. And there's no more snow. Someone was asking about northwest parts of Minnesota. Here's Kitson County. Nothing. And then as we look into Grafton out toward Langdon and Walhalla, it's done. So those areas are done on that sharp edge of the system. Out in South Dakota, it goes right through Aberdeen. It's almost over for you. And it's almost over for you folks in Valley City, but not quite yet. And here's that heavy band. Look at this. Fargo, I'm looking out the window and it's coming down pretty good here, but look at it. It's just kind of slicing us out. So this heavier band that's making its way through is going to hit the north side of Fargo first. So if you're up in North Fargo, up by the airport, or by the new, what do you call that thing that diverts water around? The new diversion. Okay, you go through that. Pearly, Hendrum, Halstead, all you guys are getting just shellacked with another dose of heavy snow. This is moving right into northern parts of Clay County, Ada, Borup, and all of you seeing it as well. Thanks for the hearts out there. If you do like the content, give it a heart, give it a like, share it with a friend. And I got to tell you what, you can download my app at hutchesweather.com or searching Hutch's Weather in your app store today. On the app store, you can get minute-by-minute updates from our DOT crews on as far as what the road conditions are doing across the region, because they're changing minute to minute. Now, this heavy batch of snow reaches up to Red Lake Falls. It's missing Thief River just to the south, but if you're down here to the south and to the east of Thief River, not by too much, you're going to see the heavier band of snow. So St. Hilaire and on into Plummer and Red Lake Falls, you say, and oh, you got to go out toward Brooks and Shooks. Gully and Clearbrook. This area is getting a pretty good pounding by some flakes the size of Hutch Johnson's fist. They're coming down out of the sky like Shazam bananas. All right, now let's go ahead and take a look at what's going on the radar here. There we go. Now, as we zoom out just a little bit, we're tracking this heavy band. Now in Bemidji, you've had reports of heavy snow in your area over 6 inches. I'll get to those snow reports in a second, but you get up here into the Red Lake area, Waskish, there's big time snow reported just north of the Bemidji area. This whole swath is heaviest in the northern half of Beltrami County, the northern half of you guys in Clearwater County, and it's coming your way and moving that way. So here's that heavy bound. Badette, it's working its way into your neck of the woods as well. And a big old swirl of nothing going on here in northern Minnesota. So from Brainerd and points north, it's quiet. Now, this wraparound snow, the way it looks to me, will stay fairly skinny, and it's going to work its way across the region. So you're not done in Brainerd. You're not done in Bertha. You're not done at Walker. You're not done all the way out here towards Hibbing. But it does look like you're getting a nice break and a push from this system. All right, let's take a look at what's going on with regards to some snowfall reports that you have sent in, because we've got some doozies out here, and I think I'm just going to go this way. I'm going to go right here to this music screen, and I'll turn the music off just a second. All right, here I am, full screen, turning down the music. All right, what you're going to look at here is we're going to turn on this photo section here where you have uploaded your reports. So here we go. All right, so this is going to work its way through. There it is. Okay, so Fargo-Moorhead, 7 to 10 inches reported in the FM area, and it's climbing. We're going to get another dose of snow. Look at this. Ariska, a foot of snow. Foston, 11. Smoky Hills in the Ponsford area, 11. It's still snowing at many of these locations. Out there northeast of Ada, we have some serious snowflakes flying there. And this just in from Bemidji, 7 miles to the north, a report of 20 inches. Thank you for your report out there, Linda Aaron. Thank you so very much. So northern Minnesota getting shellacked. And again, the snow is not done, but it is wrapping up, as I just showed you, in parts of eastern North Dakota as we work our way through. So that is what's going on as we see this storm system working its way through. I want to get back to those digits again on the snowfall reports for the region, but basically what we're looking at is some heavy reports. Look at Enderlin, 16 inches and still snowing. Cullum, 14.7. It's done. It does look like we're basically seeing some heavy amounts in the Ellendale area. It's done. Bemidji, last report was 9.5 and 7 miles north of town. You got 20 inches. Twin Valley, oh, look at all that 6 to 7 inch reports out there from Wolf Lake, and it's going to continue to snow in parts of northern Minnesota. So there's that. And again, thanks to all of you for uploading your photos to hutchesweather.com. Check it out. All right. We got some beautiful photos shared as we take a look at some of these that have been coming in throughout the morning. And again, heavy snow, it's wet snow, and it's slushing up on area roadways out there. You can watch this or go to my website anytime to check these up. And Linda just said she posted that, so I'm going to approve that image right now. But when you go over to hutchesweather.com and the photo upload section, here's where you push the button to upload your photo, or you can do it right from my app. So let me go ahead and prove this now, because that takes just one step, because I got to make sure I'm approving these photos and we don't get no scary ones on there, if you catch my drift, if you smell what I'm stepping in. Okay, let's see what we got here. And thanks again for joining me. Got a couple of new photos coming in, so we'll approve those and we'll throw those in the mix. Oh my goodness. Okay, so now we all get to see what this measurement is like 7 miles to the north of Bemidji. Let's go right here. Okay, I gotta go to this, and that shows the monitor. Okay. This is where I get to talk to you guys and see what's going on, okay, and answer your questions as we go. So keep them coming. Photo uploads. Here we go. Let's go ahead and take a look at this brand new one. Now this one is from the deck, South Fargo. Lisa capturing there. It looks like it's approaching that 10.5 inch mark there in West Fargo. Thank you so much for your shot there. And here we go, Michael, a shot there from Fargo. Okay, thank you. And Katie from McIntosh. You got some serious snow potential there too. I can't read that. Oh, it's got to be pushing 10 inches there. So the Fargo-Moorhead area picking up 10 inches of snow. This is South Fargo. It looks like 8 inches reported there at 9:30 in the morning. And you know what goes on there. Woo! this ruler's almost gone. Look out, Alana. You're going to lose your ruler in the snowbank. Here is rural Jamestown, Allison. Thank you. That's a yardstick right there. And it says 15 inches. 15 inches. Yuck. Megan and Enderlin, here you go. So again, it says that the photo was uploaded, posted the pics on my Facebook page. So thank you very much for doing that. If you can upload it to my website, this is where you do it, hutchesweather.com. Well, when we're done here, you can go ahead and do that. I'd sure appreciate it. Thanks so much. I catch your drift, duh, says Justin. Grand Forks looks done. You're right, Kim. Thank you so very much for all of your support. And now let's take a look at what's going on with these road reports real quickly to kind of wrap up this version of Hutch's Weather. And I'll keep you posted throughout the day. We still have a no travel advisory in southeast North Dakota where we have upwards of 8, 7, 10, 15 inches of snow. Jamestown and points down to the south. It's a smorgasbord of flakes out there. Now, this purple area, by the way, is a travel alert that continues in the Bismarck area. But I do want to take a second and show you that we are seeing some improvements. I'm zooming into Bismarck. Let's go right here to the Capitol building and show you that beautiful view. Well, this is not the Capitol building. We actually see some beautiful blue skies, though, out in the Mandan area. So Bisman starting to rectify things just a little bit. Let's see if I can get that Capitol view from the sky. Now you can see the interstate, both lanes cleared in all direction, all 4 lanes looking good there. And so there is some cleanup going on there. North on 83 as you get up towards Washburn, this is what it looks like, 83 getting cleared up there. That's all good news. Interstate, oh no, we have no travel advisories all the way into Kidder County, and I'm not kidding. As we take a look here, here's Medina, and they're trying to scrape these roads off here, but now that we got some blue skies and the snow has stopped, they will be making progress, but there's a no travel advisory. You can see they've got one lane kind of cleared, but it's no fun through the Jamestown area. So if you don't have to travel in these zones, give it a break. They'll let these crews get these roads cleared up. Here's right in Jamestown itself. It looks a little bit better there, so things are starting to improve. But again, no travel advisories. The Valley City zone, the Jamestown zone, and points south toward the South Dakota border. Here is a look now. The snow has ceased as we're looking into Valley City. It's done, over, it's through. What about Carrington? Carrington, nope, we got the haze and the snow fog going on there and that heavy snow. Look at this, and the ditches running full with some water. You betcha we're adding some moisture to the content here. I-29 and in the Fargo-Moorhead area, let's go north of town. No travel advised on I-29 either. Here's a look at the big flakes coming through. This is the last hoorah of the storm system as it goes through. I had earlier said by 2 o'clock we should be done with snow. I think it might be 1:30 or so like that, but it will be lessening up and lightening up. But remember, on the radar, the north side of Fargo looked like it was getting the bigger flakes. So if we go down here outside the airport, oh yeah, there are some big flakes, I tell you. It's looking mighty snowy there on the north side of Fargo. Compare with the south side of Fargo, and this is why we can get so many different measurements in and around the metro area. Yeah, we got some big flakes, and this as we look at the interchange here, this is at 52nd Avenue South, and there's your interstate out there. So the crews in town are doing a bang-up job of keeping things fresh and dainty on the interstates. Now let's look at southern and central North Dakota as we go out towards Ashley and Wishick. Yuck! That's all I got to say about that. Ugh! And then as we go out towards Cullum and not too far from you, let's check in on the Gackle area. Yep, them roads are mighty painted with flakes of snow. So that's what's going on in North Dakota right now with the no travel advisory. Now let's check out you folks in north central South Dakota. Earlier there was a no travel advisory, but we still have some pretty sticky roads going on in that general vicinity. Then as we zoom in and pop the map over here, we can take you right into Mound City and points north. And this is where we did get upwards of a foot of snow reported. They're starting to clean these roads off, and it's looking more gooder, as Hutch likes to say. But don't say that in your English class. You might get in trouble like Hutch did. Okay, now as you take a look here, this is I-29 at Sisseton. Pretty icy looking road surfaces there as we go through the day. And that's a look at your South Dakota roads. So slippery road conditions there, but the lifting of all of the no travel advisories is an improvement, and that's good. The western and central parts of South Dakota are done. The only place that might see some more snow is going to be in and around the Sisseton Hills. Here is Minnesota. And in Minnesota, we have this area of pink roads. Those are completely covered. And if we go ahead, go north of Bemidji, we're going to take a look at the area here. I've got a zoom in just a little bit. The closest one I have here is going to be up here. Yeah, this is the Red Lake area, and as you take a look at the road surface here, it's completely covered in snow. I did see some downed trees from this storm system as well in and around the Bemidji area from the heavy load on the snow. Modern Marge, thank you very, very, very much for your gift of support on my YouTube channel. Thanks for all of the stars you have all blessed me with as we head into the remainder of the weekend here. I do really appreciate it very much. It helps Hutch's Weather continue to grow, and outside it continues to snow. And that just shows me that you love the fact that I'm reporting the weather and you're not getting mad at the messenger all the time. Whoa, I can feel the bricks hitting the computer screen here. Kind of be nice. Okay, now as we go up till Beltrami here, oh my goodness, Highway 9 is completely covered in sludge and snow, and you can't see very good. This is that heavy band of snow moving through. We can track that. Is it working into the Halstead to Hendrum area? Look at this. You can't even see the road surface out there. That camera's taking the rest of the day off like all of us should be, except Hutch Johnson, the weather nerd here, keeping you up to date. Let's go out to the other folks out here south of Mahnomen. Now, this road here looks a little bit more sloppy. You're kind of in between the areas where that heavy band, it will be moving back in, but now they've had a chance to clear it up a little bit. I see a couple of vehicles out here making their way through. So again, the pink roads means that they're mostly covered with snow, and that's what we have going on in these zones. Getting up into the Red Lake Falls area, so let's go check out Brooks. Yeah, so as we take a look at this area here, there was a pretty heavy, hefty-duty band of snow moving through the Red Lake Falls area just south of Thief River, and this is just completely covered up, sludgy roads. You know, you're just going to get sucked right into the ditch on that, but you're definitely going to be slowed down substantially on those roads. Outside of Grand Forks, East Grand Forks, this is a look in the northern part of the Red River Valley here. We're looking dainty and daisy, and those road surfaces, I see some lanes there for you travelers on the interstate. Now, interstate highway. Let's check out Highway 10. Highway 10 east of Fargo going to Detroit Lakes. What can you expect? I'll tell you, it's snowy, and that heavier band will be skirting through this area again a little bit later. Now, as we go down to the south here, we got ourselves beautiful conditions on I-94. Okay, this is heading east of Fargo as you're going southeast toward the Twin Cities. So there's going to be some areas of some reduced visibility. You're looking at, well, let me get you that's about the Downer exit. Now, as we go in just a little bit closer, we'll walk our way. Where does it look better? By the time you drive to Roth, say there's flakes, but the interstate, you can see here, there's slush covering the entirety of Interstate 94 there. So it's a slushy mess as you go through. At least it's not solid ice, because that's no fun unless you're in the Olympics and you're a figure skater, if you catch my drift. All right, now as we take a look at this just looks like a very bad day in this particular area. I-94, this must be a camera that's very high off the ground, and it's getting up into the cloud level there, because at the road surface we can see that it's not quite as bad as it looked there. And now you're looking at Fergus Falls. So in Fergus Falls we got snow, fog, and fog, and thank you so much for all the stars and hearts and the love you're sharing with Hutch. I appreciate it. And if you're just joining me, I'm meteorologist Hutch Johnson, and as a broadcast meteorologist, a chief meteorologist for the better part of 30 years up here in the Northern Plains, I continue to cover the weather, but I do it right here on my streaming channel. So thanks for being here. I appreciate you. And go ahead and drop a comment. Let me know where you're watching from, and if you do have a question, I'll be getting to those here momentarily. And then it's lunchtime, and it's time. I haven't even shoveled anything yet, and there's plenty of shovel trouble out here in the Northern Plains. So this is, again, Fergus Falls. As we continue down the interstate and we get just a little bit closer to Evansville, let's go check that out there as we're going through. Now you're talking. Now I can see the pavement. That's always good. And you're looking at that long view and you kind of see the snow fog isn't as bad. There will be some wraparound snow in these areas from the system as it winds through. So there's going to be an attack on central Minnesota as that main band moves through and the north winds kind of sweeps them down on the backside of the system. Now, Sauk Center. It does look like we got big flakes the size of Hutch Johnson's knuckles, and that knuckle-sized snow is working its way right onto the interstate, so you want to watch out for that. But other than that, slow it down, and it looks like the interstate is clear in the Twin Cities. We got a few crashes going on there, but it's not likely due to snowfall. As you can see here, it's not bad right now. you do have a chance in the northern metro later tonight at seeing just a little bit of snow. So that's a look at our roads here in Minnesota. And now I'm going to go to Wisconsin. I know I got some viewers in Wisconsin. You've asked me to add it to the website. Things are looking better. So what's happened here? We had tons of ice work through, ice storm warning, but as the system moved north, warm air got drawn up from the south, and what that means is some gooder conditions up there in the northern part of Wisconsin. All the green roads reported by the DOT in Wisconsin says not cheesy, but mighty pleasy as things are getting a little bit better. Let's look into Wausau. Look at the camera here's crying icicles out there. Look at the trees coated in a layer of ice on I-39. You see the trees out here? I imagine there's been some power struggles and power problems and bumps, and you can look at the latest power disruption report on my app. Search Hutch's Weather in your app store when we're done here. Download it, and please let me know in the comments what you think of the app. I do appreciate that. So that's in and around the Wausau area, just coated in ice. As we go out here towards Green Bay, there were some problems out there with power outages. Look at this. Woo-wee. Okay, let me get to a different one here. I want to select one. That looks icy. That looks nasty. Look at this. All right, so as you take a look at the Green Bay area, we got this snow fog, ice fog, and there is some coating on the bridge. What's happening, though, is we do have a chance at seeing things clear up and dry out down to the south as things warm up just a bit. But then you're going to get into the north winds on this weather system later tonight as it moves by you, and things will get a little bit on the tricky side with regards to that. So that's a look at Wisconsin. And just outside of Minnesota, Minneapolis, as you go into Chippewa Falls here, this is what it looks like there. Not too many problems. So travel off into parts of central and southern Wisconsin rather is improving greatly. All right, Northern Gray, no snow blowing yet either. Still snowing. I don't blame you. Sometimes it's good to take it in chunks and get it off the roads. So your snowfall reports have been amazing. Keep them coming. I passed them along to the Weather Service forecast office so that they can let everybody else know. Anywhere you see yellow to orange dots, 6 inches to a foot of snow has been recorded. And just now we're getting that report from you folks up there just north of the Bemidji area of 20 inches of snow. Aaron, thank you very much. Andrea Winder, love the app. Use it 98% of the time. Awesome. Thank you very much for that kind report there. And if you have any ideas for the future of the app, you let me know, because it's built around you and your suggestions. And my team works hard to make sure that those things happen if we can make them happen. So it's not going to make you ice cream, and it's not going to do the dishes, and it isn't going to shovel your snow. But other than that, I love the app because it helps keep you informed. All right, this storm system, what about that forecast? Let's do that one more time here while I have you. And we did this when we started, but we're going to do it here now again. So as we have gone through, now I'm going to get the latest one here. So this one is showing, this one just ran this hour. Heavier band of snow moving through Fargo, Moorhead now, and then as we move through time, it's still wrapping it up as we get into around 1 to 2 o'clock in Fargo, and that's it. The heavier band of snow does continue to deliver. So you see that band we have now moves easterly, and as it does its move and dance to the east, we're expecting it to rock its way right through the areas that got 10 to 20 inches of snow between Bemidji and 7 miles north of Bemidji. It's also going to add insult to injury in Monoman, where I had 1 foot of snow reported earlier. It's also going to continue to deliver flakes of flying aplenty in Becker County. So for you folks out there from Detroit Lakes and on out towards Wadena, we're going to be seeing that band move through. Now, some of this may wrap around a little bit far south, but this isn't showing it too far. Here's the metro area, the Twin Cities. So the northern branches of the metro area might get a dusting of snow. Temperatures cool off a little bit with these north winds now. And in Wisconsin, you'll see your winds shifting from slow and steady to a more northerly wind. And that means cold water off the ice and hopefully not lake effect snow, but you get my drift. Pun intended. The snow is on its way out. It won't exit central Minnesota until we get after 5 to 6 p.m. and it won't exit eastern Minnesota until late tonight, 8 or 9 tonight. Here is a look at what's going on with regards to our watches, warnings, and advisories. Let me go over these with you here real quickly, because this changes as well, but I like to look and bring you the data The watches and warnings and advisories, you get that information on my app, my website, and everywhere else we have the tools. But I do want to update you with what we're seeing here. So here's what we're seeing here. The red counties are still in the winter storm warnings. Now, I can tell you we are almost done in that Valley City area now with the snowfall, but the warning continues because we got some heavy snow. There's no travel advisories in this zone. Northeast South Dakota, you remain in the winter storm warning in the red counties. That's Aberdeen, and that's you folks out here towards Britain, and off to the east, we're looking at the Loyola area, as well as Ipswich, Britain, South Dakota, all the way to the Sisseton Hills. Now, what counties are involved in west central Minnesota? If you take a look here, Traverse County and Wheaton, we have you all the way up towards Wilkin County as well. We look at Fergus Falls and Otter Tail County. We're in the western reaches of Otter Tail County. You're in the warning. The eastern reaches, not so much. We did look at the I-94 corridor slicing through southwestern parts of the county here, and the roads are pretty rough and tumble there as far as some big fat flakes flying through the skies of west central Minnesota. The purple counties that you see here are a winter weather advisory. We're expecting lower snowfall totals here for Brainerd, but not zero. You're going to have some chance. This is a forecast model showing that as we go through the afternoon hours, as this band that's moving through Fargo now moves east, you'll have a chance at seeing some showers of snow into the mid to late afternoon hours for Brainerd and points north towards Grand Rapids. Grand Rapids could get into some heavier snow if you see these grays popping up on the future radar as we go through the afternoon. That is definitely something to work with. And as we go through Easter Sunday, we'll have passing flurries of snow with a little weather wiggle, I call it, an upper level disturbance working its way through. Here's a look at Bemidji and the area near Grand Rapids all the way to Virginia and International Falls. The snow showers will be wrapping out of your area as we go through the late afternoon, passing snow showers on your Easter Sunday rather, will also be there. We still have ice storm warnings in the UP of Michigan, Sault Ste. Marie, L'Anse, as well as Houghton and Eagle River, and not far from the Apostle Islands here, winter weather advisory for your area. So we do have some ice potential as that icing moves north and out of Wisconsin now into your area. But even as that goes through, it looks like it won't end, and it changes over to snow as we go through the late night hours tonight. So this storm system lasts into the wee hours of the morning on your Easter Sunday. We have snow, heavy snow alerts for snowfall warnings in parts of Canada from Environment Canada. This goes out into parts of Quebec. It's in parts of Ontario as well. And here is what they're expecting: 10 to 20 centimeters of snow. Okay, so 24.5 centimeters of snow is a lot of inches. That's like 10 inches. So there's going to be a lot of snow working its way through the region as we continue to see that storm system exit severe weather out in the plain states where it digs into some hot and humid air. And that is a look at what we have going on right there with regards to that. And again, I do want to remind you to head over to the website and upload your photos. I've got more coming in. We got your reports. Keep them coming as the snow ends. Hutch, please cancel the snow. I want to golf. 1P4G, 1PAR4G. I'm not sure what that stands for, but I got you. I'll put the order in with Star Command here shortly. When will it all end, Linda? It does look like for your area in central parts of Beltrami County there, in and around Bemidji and the Red Lakes area, you are on until about 5 to 6 o'clock, and then it starts exiting your area, and it's on for the rest of the evening for parts of eastern Minnesota. So that's a look. Minneapolis. I just shoveled the wet, heavy snow off the driveway in Alexandria, and it's still coming down. Yeah, you know, so we do have that snowfall still rocking its way on the I-94 corridor there. So keep up the hard work, but do remember to take breaks. It's called heart attack snow because it's heavy and wet, and you don't want to overexert yourself. Tried to get the picture to you from Cullum. Thanks, Justice. I saw it. I saw a picture. Thank you very, very much for doing that. It's appreciated. It's on the website now. I do believe it's been approved, so you should be able to see it. So that is a look at what's going on. I'm going to keep the stream running. We'll keep you updated as the storm makes its way through. Keep your reports coming in. I'll pass them along to the Weather Service. Just got any idea how much snow the FM area has gotten so far? Karen, the snowfall reports, as we went through this once before, but that's okay. That's why we were all joining at different times. So if you're just joining, welcome. I'm meteorologist Hutch Johnson, and it does look like the FM area has reports between 8 and 10 inches of snow already, and there's another heavy band. Right now I'm looking out there, and there's knuckle-sized snowflakes coming on down again. So we're going to add another solid inch or two with this heavier band making its way through. As you can see, the dark blue colors on the radar here are the real big knuckle-sized flakes. So Fargo sits right on the edge of that, and this band is slowly going to work its way out between now and 1 o'clock. So we have another hour of snow, and with snowfall rates particularly fertile, Erskine, and on through towards Twin Valley, Ullin rather, and Hawley, this is going to work its way off to the south and east. This band of snow is going to be capable in an hour's time of delivering 1 to 2 inches of snow. So you got another 1 to 2 inches to worry about as this moves through, and it's going to be more persistent and long-lived up in our northern counties. So as you go up towards Fertile, I think in Bagley and Points North, and yes, it does look like it's going to move right back through Bemidji for you folks out there where you got whack-a-mole kind of snow going on. So that's a quick look at what's going on. Went back out up to 16 inches in Enderlin. Thank you so very much. I'll keep you posted. The stream stays live. I'll be back with updates as the event unfolds. Right now, I've got a little more work to do on some updates, and it's coffee time and breakfast time for meteorologist Hutch Johnson. All right, thanks, everybody.
You're watching Hutch's Weather live. We're taking a quick breather. While Hutch prepares the next data sweep, check in from your neck of the woods in the chat.
Check out these pictures, by the way. These are many of your uploads that you have uploaded to my website or directly from your app on the phone. Thank you so very much for taking the time to upload these. And you know, keep up the good work out there. Let me know what you get in your area as things unfold here throughout the rest of the day. I'll keep you updated to the best of my abilities, as you know. And wow, look at that. Shoveling, Minnesota. Getting whack-a-mole snow. That doesn't look like fun. Oh, there's Hutch's measurement from this morning as 7 a.m. 8.5 inches of snow south Moorhead. A couple different places in the yard. Coming down heavy. And getting another measurement, Northern Grace. Thank you very, very much for your updates as well. Look at those deer going, where did the grass go? Oh, no. That's all of fun. Love the measurements. Love the measurements. Keep them coming.
Don't wait for the next update to stay safe between Hutch's live reports. The Hutch's Weather app is your best way to stay alert. Grab it now and never be caught off guard by the changing weather. If this coverage is helping you stay prepared, consider giving the stream a thumbs up. It helps the system push these alerts to more people in the path of the storm. See you in the chat. Keep the reports coming. Hutch is monitoring your local updates in real time. If you're seeing a change in the weather in your area, drop your city and current conditions now. You are our eyes in the field. Let's build this fort.
And hello, everybody. It is 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Coming up here, we're going to talk a little bit, but a little discussion as we get going. Hi, BA. Good to have you on board. Very light flurries in the Glencoe area. I appreciate that. Hey, the last real blast or surge has made its way out of the FM area, now heading up in this dark blue band, working its way off to the east. You're done in the Grand Forks area as the snow has moved out. Castleton, we still have some type of precipitation. So if you measure this as the crow flies here, we're talking about 25 miles width yet to work its way out of the Fargo area. So before it totally wraps up here, we're still talking about another half hour to hour before we see it exit the FM area. Snowfall aplenty. I just took a fresh measurement outside as well. And welcome back. If you're new to the channel, there's a couple of things I wanted to mention here, that we do have the snow showers continuing. We're going to go over the forecast because you're not done yet as we look across Minnesota and elsewhere. Here is a look at that band of snow. It's this narrow band that's kind of sticking up. There's a dry area in between and then another batch of some showers of snow not far from the Twin Cities. BA, this is what's going on. You're saying flurries out there in your area in Glencoe. And let's take a look at this. Hopefully the mic looks like it's working this time. If you can hear me, throw me a thumbs up. Hey, Kara, good to see you on board. No power in Craigness. The snow is still falling. So one of the things, if you have the Hutch's Weather app, is load that up on the Radar Plus map. Look in the layers that you can plot, and power outages is one of them. So you can see where there are power problems. Very heavy, very wet snow. And right here in my yard, I've got trees cracked. Well, actually, it's a neighbor's tree that's fallen across my fence. But essentially, it's a mess out here. We have a lot of heavy snow, and some trees, especially if they had weak spots, not happy with the weight of the snow. Glad you can hear me, Bubbles. Thank you very much. Bobby, good to see you. Thanks for joining. Carol Miller, good to have you here as well. We'll continue to cover this. I'm just kind of jabbering with everybody here because I believe the text I just sent heading out to the region was for the update here about now. So we're just going to get started and roll through, and it looks like I tripped up the radar here too. So also spent some time shoveling that snow off the deck, and I can tell you what, it's really heavy and wet. So do it in stages. I've got the whole front to do. I've got the walk to do. You know how it is. It's a lot of work out there. So as we look down into southern Minnesota here, south of the Twin Cities, showing up still near Prior Lake as some rain. As you go down through Faribault, it quiets down. Waseca, it looks like some showers of rain heading your way. But as you go to Glencoe, the radar is depicting just a few flakes and flurries. So on the wraparound side of the system, we're getting that in the Twin Cities. And then we have this big batch right here working its way out into northwest Minnesota and through International Falls and points north. So that batch of snow there is going to continue its way through, slowly exiting off to the east, but lingering in this area for some time yet, delivering some snow is the way things are going. Clint, thank you very much, and sorry for my penmanship here. It's a little hard to read. Got a lot of stuff on my tabletop here. So here's some fresh snow reports out here in eastern Becker County. We've got 11 inches reported in Ponsford. That was from you all watching Hutch's Weather here. Bemidji reporting 11, 7 miles north of Bemidji. That's from you. 11 today, and this reporter had told me that 9 from yesterday, a total of 20 inches as we went through the last 24 hours. Remember, the snow ended in Bemidji late yesterday. Well, actually, it was mid-morning yesterday. So by morning, the snow was wrapping up. So really, in just over 24 hours, that's 20 inches of snow from the two systems in and around the Bemidji area. So it's a lot of snow. It's very heavy. Barns, outbuildings have a lot of weight on their roofs right now. Where we got a healthy dose of snow with the first round, we're seeing another round making its way through right now. So I do want to let everybody know here as we continue through the rest of our afternoon. 2:05 is the time I said we'd start. Guess what? It's 2:05. So thanks for joining me here on Hutch's Weather. Here's what the latest is. A band of snow from Lake of the Woods, International Falls, Rainy Lakes area, right through northern Beltrami County. Bemidji, you're just on the south side of this band. Will it move through your area? There's going to be a chance you're going to see a quick shot in this dark blue band. I'm telling you what, it was big snow and big wind in Moorhead here for just a little while. If you caught my video clip on my YouTube channel or my Facebook page or TikTok page, I went outside and it was blowing. The snow was blowing off the roof. And actually that gust and burp of wind that we had moved through helped the situation out a great deal because it shook the trees and helped to shake off some of the snow that was accumulating on the branches of the trees out there. That was pretty important because it was pretty ridiculous. Here's a look at peak gusts across the region today. And the bottom line is that we didn't see a lot of gusts with this storm system as the snow made its way through. And the peak gusts are topping out at about 25 miles per hour until you get down here. And then we got some 30-mile-per-hour winds in the southern Red River Valley, Richland County, and Wilkin County area. So that's a look at those winds and the high temperatures today. Not too high across our region. We stayed below zero where we had the morning deep snow. And here we, not below zero, below freezing, I should say. And that white line is the freezing line. So, well, we did manage to get at or above the freezing area in the FM area, but many of us in the south, not so much. Lack of snow up north, and look at that. Temperatures have really responded with that, I wouldn't call it snow-free ground, but certainly a big change there with some 50s now out in the western part of North Dakota. This is in the Williston area in the oil patch, Sidney, Montana, 50 degrees for a high so far for the day today as things are a little bit better. Behind the system, what's it look like? Well, let's take a look at these clouds because the satellite's showing the clearing line as well. And you can see and start to see maybe some of the impacts of where the snow fell as that clearing line moves through. Look at that big swath of white right here. There's the Missouri River Valley right through Bismarck, right through Mobridge, heading on down to Pierre, South Dakota. And this is the swath of snow this puppy has left behind. Really easy. We'll just track this one all the way through as the clouds clear. You could actually see where the snow made its way down. So here's a look at the very latest snowfall reports. And then I have your forecast for you. We're going to go to what the National Weather Service has reported in. And again, many of your reports that you've passed on to me, I've passed to them, and then they plot them on the maps here. So in the last, this is the 24-hour snowfall reports here. We could turn it back a little bit if we want to include some more, but let's just focus on today, shall we? This storm system last night and into this morning dumped heavy snow in western parts of South Dakota. The yellows, the light yellow colors, that's 6+ inches of snow. You get into the little light orange colors here, that's 8+ inches of snow. So there's a 10-inch report in good old Bison, as we say it here in Fargo, South Dakota. Some might call it bison, but we know it's correct to say bison. 8 inches lodgepole. Here is a look at Lemon, South Dakota, 13. So there's some snow on the ground out in western parts of North Dakota. As you get south of Dickinson, it started picking up to some significant amounts. Here's 9 in New England out there. And in Dickinson itself, a little bit lower amounts, between 2 and 6 inches reported in the Dickinson area. Now on Interstate 94, that's where the big winners were. Interstate 94 and points south, and then it started sneaking up to the north. So here's eastern portions of North Dakota. And as you go east of the Bismarck area, 11 in Steele, that's Kidder County. And then as we go out, we got a 15 right here. Woo-wee, that's Lake Isabel showing up in, is that the right spot? Lake Isabel. 15 inches of snow, by golly. 14 inches of snow right here in Jamestown. Numerous reports of that 13 to 14 inch range there. Go south, we got 14.7. That's your report from Cullum. Thank you very, very much. 12 inches in Berlin. That's your report from Berlin. Here's 12.5 inches in Lemoore. And we go down south even farther still. Ellendale picking up a good solid 10 inches of snow out there. Now look at southeast North Dakota. A pocket here, and we got 15, 16, 15, 13. Numerous reports out there coming in hot. We have Verona, my Verona, 15 inches of snow, 16 inches of snow in Fort Ransom. Beautiful valleys of Fort Ransom out there covered in 16 inches of white goodness. It's 15 inches in Enderlin, down to the south, 13 in Lisbon, 10.2 in McLeod. We're looking at some big time snow as well for you in Foreman, 6 inches reported in Lidgerwood. And now just north of Fargo here and Page, North Dakota at 12 inches of snow. Here's the FM area, and I just measured in South Moorhead a solid foot of snow, and that's after the last burst came through. It's really heavy, and it's getting hard to measure because it's just compacting down and compacting down. In other words, what was on top of the car compacting down. What's in the grass, we had a couple inches left over from the last storm, so it gets a little hard to measure, and that's okay. We just want to know what you've got, and it's all helpful, so thanks for all of your reports. Now, as we take a look, we have some reports here, 8.5 inches. That was at 8:44 a.m. And I measured 8.5 inches at 7 a.m. here in South Moorhead. So here's a 9-inch report in South Moorhead as well. Now, as we went through the day, the snow kept piling up on the west side, West Fargo, a couple of reports of 10 to 10.1 inches, 11.5 up here in the Harwood area as the Cheyenne River Valley not getting left out from the snow. Go up north here, we got Gardner, we got that 11 inches there. Hillsboro having a solid 9.5-inch effort there. 7 inches in Sharon. Some of these reports coming earlier, but remember, Sharon to Grand Forks, the snow is all but done in your area. So Findlay and Sharon seeing around 8 to 9 inches of snow. Now get out into Minnesota and Lakes country. Woo-wee, look, I see a first foot out here, a foot and 10 strike, and that's from your report to me. Here's 11 inches reported right here in Bemidji. That's your report, so thank you very much. It all helps to keep us up to date with the latest. Shooks at 8.5, 9 inches in Solway, 11 inches in Foston earlier, and there's more coming to you as well. Thanks, Clint Moe. I see the hearts are going, and I really love it. If you have not seen me before, my name's Hutch Johnson. I've been a meteorologist and as a chief meteorologist broadcasting the weather for the better part of the last 30 years here in the upper Midwest and the Northern Plains. And I'm now continuing to do it on my streaming channels. So thank you for joining me. Welcome. And anytime you see a video, if you like what you see here, just go ahead and give me a thumbs up. That really helps. You can hit the like button on these videos as well. You can share or tag friends in the video so they can capture along with us and know that I'm going live. It does help. So as we take a look at these snowfall reports, as you go toward the Red Lakes area, here's that Shooks report of 8.5 inches. Nothing coming yet from extreme northwestern Minnesota. I do see that there was some snowflakes on the radar up there in the Pennington County area. So you folks out there from St. Hilaire and Thief River Falls, likely going to have some reports to pass along. As you go southeast on Interstate 94, here's the Fergus area, 4.3 inches on the north side of town reported at 11 a.m. And I've heard some reports of continued snow out there as well. So the band is going to wind through and we'll continue to see a little bit more snow here. The Highway 10 corridor, 5 inches of snow in Detroit Lakes reported, 6 inches reported in New York Mills, 6 inches reported at Wolf Lake from very early this morning. As we look out towards Bemidji, there's plenty in that area. Getting out in the Brainerd Lakes area out here, we see that Camp Ripley, Fort Ripley, 2.5 inches reported there, and about an inch as you get into the St. Cloud area, and then things really wind down where we saw warmer temperatures and some rain showers. So big time snow, and out there on the Duluth area, the system's working its way through. We got 1 to 2 inch reports. When were those turned in? Yesterday? Let's see. No, that's this morning at 8 a.m. So they also will likely see some of these totals rise up just a little bit. That's a look at that. Now road reports. Now I've seen DOT pictures. I have seen county sheriff photos of terrible crashes and block-ups on the interstate, and they've had to shut it from time to time. Your best bet if you want to drive or travel across North Dakota is to check with Hutch's Weather app or check 511, and you're going to get this map. The purple means it's a travel alert. The no travel advisory has been canceled. That's good because the snow is ending here and the plows are catching up. Now, a pro tip is to go ahead and go to the menu when you get to Hutch's app and get to this page, and you can now turn on snow plows. Look how hard and look how many there are. You'll see all the icons show up. Shazam! They're all focused right here in this zone, getting those roads cleared up now. So between now and the evening hours, I anticipate most of you with plans for traveling over Easter will see vast improvement because of the hard work of our DOT crews. So give me a shout out to the DOT crews here. Thank you to them and pat them on the back for me because they're doing the hard work, the tireless work. Look at how blue the skies are out here. This is a view from the plow that is working its way. Where was that puppy? So that is, well, here's a Cass County plow. So this is northwest Cass County, not far from Page, and we definitely have some snow that he's still clearing out, or they are still clearing out off of the roads in that general vicinity. Northern parts of Barnes County, that's where we're seeing some blue skies smiling at me. I like some blue skies. Okay. Definitely was not a singer for a reason. Okay, Jamestown, here's a seat of the plow in western Stutzman County. So we're starting to clear off that foot of snow to 13 inches that you got there. Some reports as high as 15 inches of snow. Now, I did get some reports down near Enderlin here of somewhere around 15 inches of snow there as well, and that is what it looks like. Very common theme here. You can tell these plows, they make one pass and they go through. They're just trying to keep up with it today. But now that the snowfall is slowing down in eastern North Dakota, things are going to start looking a lot better. If we go a little farther out to the east, just straight south of Jamestown, here's a look at the plows there. So this is a look at from the plow. You can see that road and the blue skies just behind this storm. Very, very, very nice to see. Now, we did get some column reports. Let's get out in this general vicinity out here. We're looking out near Edgeley, and this is what it looks like there. So still a few drifts on there, but the improvement is being made. Now, as we go down south on Interstate 29 through Richland County, there is still some snow that will be exiting this area towards Fargo. So from southeasternmost North Dakota and Fargo, we still have some light snow to contend with, but you can see the plows are starting to catch up with the quantity of snow that has fallen. And that last snow shot that just moved through the Fargo-Moorhead area here really, really was quite a dumper, and then it came with quite a bit of wind too. So you see these trees lining the interstate here. What I noticed is the trees were just rocking and rolling, and it was shaking the snow right out of them. So that's a good sign there. Now that is a look at our roads in North Dakota. Travel alert, southeast North Dakota zone. Now let's go to South Dakota real quickly and take a look at those conditions there. The snow has ended for central parts of South Dakota, and for the most part, the only area with still some snow shower activity working its way through is in the northeastern zone of the state. So the Sisseton Hills, Ross Holt, looking up here at Victor. Let's take a look at the Victor area. And on I-29, we can see that they are really doing a great job of keeping the highway clear. The interstate does have some icy spots and slushy spots, but things are looking a lot better there across northeast South Dakota. Minnesota, here's the latest from Minnesota's DOT. Look at the northwest quadrant of the state. Roads are green. That doesn't mean good, but it does mean seasonal, and conditions are looking pretty good. So as we look at the Highway 11 corridor through, let's go to Badger, and that road surface is looking mighty fine. So not much new snow has fallen there. Now, as you get into the area south of Baudette, look at this. Lake of the Woods County is a winter wonderland right now. We still have a significant amount of snow falling. You can see on the road surface that you can't see the road surface. And because of that, that means it's pretty tricky travel through that zone. So it looks like areas from Baudette and Point South, completely covered roads there. So the blue means that the road is partially covered, but we just looked at the picture and it's absolutely completely covered as that heavier band. Remember on the radar, that heavier band? It must be that narrow band of snow that just went its way right through that area. So let's look at Waskish and northern parts of Beltrami County. Look at that heavy wet slush right behind me. I think you could lose Hutch Johnson and that stuff. That is a buried amount of snow right there. And as we take a look elsewhere at different directions, it's a winter wonderland there. Going south of the Red Lakes area as you head down 89, this is the Red Lake area, and the roads there are very squishy, and looks like we have a vehicle out there, and that snow looks pretty deep on the side of the road surface. So looking off to the east as you go towards Goodrich on Highway 1, it does look like we got some drifting and some snow, and so it's still snowing in the Goodrich area right now. A little bit more accumulation for you. Elsewhere in west parts of Minnesota, let's look in toward Red Lake Falls. The closest I can get us here is in that Brooks area. This is US 59 as it approaches Highway 2, I believe. And look at that. That is very thick cement on the roads out there. The good news is that with temperatures hovering near freezing, this snow is not going to turn into that rock ice hard stuff. So that's the good news. Now, from Fertile south towards the Twin Valley area, Gary, we're looking at roads that are reported to be completely covered. This is Monoman County, and look at the size of the flakes coming down, but the road surface looking much improved there. Now, as we go through Beltrami, it was really getting buried with a heavy layer of snow. You see one lane of the road right above my head starting to get cleared off out there in that Beltrami area. So keep in mind there, Highway 9 is a work in progress, but the snow showers look like they've ended a little bit in that area. You could still see a little bit more, but most of it heading off to your east now. with still some snow. Let's see what it's looking like as we go into the Halstead area, Highway 2. Uh-oh. Now, we have had some power reports, power flickering going on here across the region, so keep that in mind. Some areas have had power bumps with the heavy, wet snow on trees and such. Here's a look at the areas south of Fargo, Interstate 94, east and south of Fargo, heading towards, say, Barnesville, Fergus Falls, as well as the areas out there near Rothsay. And this is what we're seeing. Wet roads, reduced visibility, and let's go down a little farther to the south and east, and there is Rothsay. So let's take a look there. That's about the same view that we had. As we take a look here and go down towards Fergus Falls on the southeast side, this is a high view from, it looks like a power tower, something like that. And the road view looks very similar there. So there is not a lot of snow that's on Interstate 94 right now. As we go down a little farther to the south on I-94, this is at milepost number 83. So this is 83 miles southeast of Fargo, not quite to Alexandria, which is right at about 100 miles. And that's looking pretty good. Then as we do pull into Alexandria here, here's a look at what the interstate looks like there. And you'll see gradual improvement still as you go in toward the Twin Cities. That's a look at Minnesota. And now if you have questions, let me know what they are. But let's go ahead and go over your forecast here and the details of the forecast, because it's changing a little bit. But let's take a look at the snowfall potential. And I'm going to use an hourly updated model, so it's only going to count the snow that works onto the ground between now and the future. So here we go. Let's take a look at your forecast hour by hour style here. And what you're going to notice on this is we got this little narrow skinny band of snow that matches with what we're seeing on the radar. A little hot pocket heading into southeast parts of Minnesota as well. North Dakota's almost done with the snow shower activity at this particular juncture. So as we put this puppy into motion, I'm going to move the map over here just on the screen so that we can see where the action is all together now. Okay, as we put this into motion, this model run is just now coming in. Let me go make sure we're looking good. This is the latest run. Okay, so this one shows snow clearing the Fargo-Moorhead area. Hawley, also you folks in Glendon, seeing that snow clearing between now and say about that 3 o'clock hour. So 3 to 4 o'clock, it's moving out of here. There is a narrow band of pretty heavy snow in here, a kind of pencil thin band, and there are some big flakes associated with it. That's going to cross right through Bemidji, right through Beltrami County. So the Red Lakes area, 10 strike. It looks like we're going to see stuff all the way up in towards the International Falls area, making its way through. So this narrow skinny band continues its trek off to the east as we go to the evening. And here is 7 o'clock, 7 o'clock. It's still snowing in parts of central and northern Minnesota. A little wraparound flurry and fly-by-night type of snow working its way through southeast parts of Minnesota, and it's gone before midnight as we go through. For your Easter Sunday, I do see a few snow showers passing through to add insult to injury, but our overall travel conditions look to be better. I see some snow reports coming in. Thank you all so very much. If you want to drop them in the comments, I do encourage that. And thank you so much for hitting the like button on the videos as well. So keeping it moving here as we go through the forecast period on Easter Sunday. This is heading right towards noon. So if you're going to a sunrise service, let's go right here. Here's 7 a.m., 6 a.m. We're talking about snow showers moving through the Devil's Lake Basin. There's Candu, Rock Lake. We're looking at Langdon towards Walhalla, seeing some snow showers push through. Those are going to be a fast dash moving their way through the region as we go through. We could see some in and around the Grand Forks area as we go from about 9 o'clock in the morning, 8, 9 o'clock in the morning. And then as we go through mid-morning, it's moving through Bemidji and on towards Walker and Grand Rapids. As we go into the afternoon here, Hibbing having a chance by around 1 or 2 o'clock at seeing some of those passing flurries of snow. Under an inch of accumulation is the way things are looking. Now let's look at the snowfall accumulation from now through the rest of the evening with this pencil thin band that's going to be working its way through. So here we go. Look at this. So there's that wraparound snow kind of coming after it. So it looks like we'll be getting a little bit more snow working its way in that narrow band here as we go between now and 7 p.m. tonight. So that band just kind of will continue to sit here and produce a little bit of snow and move out. And then it looks like as we go through the late night hours overnight, there's some wraparound snow that kind of tucks in towards the arrowhead of Minnesota and the North Shore. Now, this will be driven by more of a northerly wind, so we're not talking about the huge accumulations on the North Shore like we did with the last one. But if we take a look with the system here and how much snow we're talking about in this little pencil thin band, another 1 inch, maybe 2 inches can be possible in these areas. This includes anywhere from Bemidji through the Red Lakes area, Waskish on up into Baudette. And look at this, if you're in that area near the Rainy River out there, we're talking about some serious snowfall potential there with an additional 3 to 5 inches of snow. For Fargo, another ½ inch might be possible, but it's still coming down. Certainly going to be a possibility. So again, measuring 1 foot of snow in South Moorhead here from this system with a little bit of light snow continuing, but it is compacting down and it's getting very hard to measure. So keep that in mind as we go through the rest of our day. That's a look at your forecast. I'm seeing if there's any other questions here or areas. When is it ending in Fargo? See, Susan, I hope I just answered that question for you. There is a pencil thin band on the radar right now, and let's go right back to it. Now, this little band is going to be working through parts of from Castleton to Fargo. So that's about a 27-mile difference there between there and Moorhead. So this is all slowly going to be shifting and lifting off to the east. Okay, so as it does so, I expect it to do so between now, which is 2:30, it looks like about 3 o'clock or so, and that should be lifting out of here for the most part. So light snow at the main is going to be the main problem here. We're not going to have a lot of additional accumulation. If we go zooming in here, we do see some hot pockets, some little blue spots here. Those are going to be bigger flakes falling out of the clouds as this system works through. But with the north wind at the surface now, that's bringing drier air into the ground. So we're just releasing what's left in the sky and it's falling on down. The main event here that's making its way right now in towards, say, you folks in Lake Park, Audubon. Right now, this is the one that moved through Fargo with the big wind. It moved through and it came with some wind and the trees just let loose some of the snow they had building up. So that's Callaway through Audubon. That's a pretty good shot of snow right there. And that'll be capable of dumping an inch. And then there's one in Frazee, another band heading up here towards 113 on the way towards that Ponsford area where we have a report out there of about 11 inches. Now, there's going to be this snow moving up towards Bagley right now. It's moving right into Clearbrook as well as Leonard, Shevlin area. So we've already got hefty snowfall totals from this area, and this narrow band is going to be a pretty heavy producer. The thing is, this band is not moving straight east. It's just gonna kind of sit here and fizzle out, it looks like on the model, and it will be moving in towards Solway and in over the Bemidji area in the next hour. So you too will be seeing a little bit more snow. Ramona, thank you for watching. BA, thanks for your report. 0 inches in Glencoe. That's not a bad one. This stuff's a lot easier to squeegee than it is to shovel. So I'll look at temperatures right now. As you look at the backside where this system has already gone through and moved out of the area, it's really starting to warm up a little bit nicely. Look at Glendive, Montana, 52 there. We did get some snow down there as you look into southeastern parts of Montana, and it's 39 in Baker. What a huge difference as you go through there. 37 in Buffalo, South Dakota, where we got some deep snow. So anywhere where we got the deep snow, we're going to be entrenched in that 35 to 45 degree temperature range over the next couple of days while we melt the foot of snow, or 8 inches to 8 to 20 inches of snow that we have on the ground across this swath of snow, which was cool to look at on the visible satellite imagery here just a little bit earlier. So this swath of snow, which is now starting to show up from the visible satellite loop, as the sun rose and the clouds started clearing, you can see this white that's not moving here. This is that huge swath of snow, lower amounts on the north side, lower amounts on the far, far south side. There is some melting of the snow away throughout the sunlight this afternoon in the Badlands of South Dakota here. So some much needed moisture falling from this system, that's for sure. And it just laid down anywhere from, say, 6 to 14 inches of snow across this entire swath here, and it's still snowing now in parts of Minnesota. Look for these clouds that have some texture to them. Those are thicker, taller clouds. They cast shadows on the clouds below them, and you can kind of see where the action is still possible with some heavier snow bands. Right here's a narrow, skinny band of some snow showers that are coming from some thicker clouds that are still in the process of making big flakes. Just measured 11 inches at 10:30 and now 13 inches at 2:30. Craigness, I gotta write that down, Kara. Thank you very much for your report, because I do pass them on to the Weather Service. So Craigness is now at 13. Wow. So, you know, it's kind of handy to have a place where you can measure and then clear it off, and hopefully it's a cool object. We have these things called snowboards in meteorology, so you might have a snowboard that's all painted white so that it doesn't catch sun and heat up by sunlight. And it might be a pretty good sized board. And then you might go out there every 3 hours with a carrot stick and chew on that and then stick a ruler in it and say, oh, since the last time I measured, we've got 1.4 inches. You sweep it off and you clean it off. Why do you do that? Then there's no compaction, okay? The problem is that board can heat up a little bit, so you don't want it sitting. I don't like it sitting right on the ground, to be perfectly honest with you, because the ground is warmer. But the bottom line is that if you're out there on the ground and you're cleaning off, you're going to do a real good job of measuring the falling snow as it falls, and then you can record it as it comes up. Not all of us have time to do that, so we get it. But if you measure it a couple times a day, it can help us add it up. A lot of moisture in this system as well. And as we take a look at the radar, it's really cool to check out how much rain it estimates has fallen. Now, the radar will estimate how much liquid equivalent has fallen from the sky, but let's see if this will load up for me nicely now. Looking for it, looking for it. I'm still looking for it. There it is. Okay, so while this loads up here, you're going to see the rainfall estimates from the Doppler radar as the storm system made its way through. So from this morning, not last night, but from this morning, basically we've got some wet weather that's made its way through. Now, it tends to show a wetter pattern close to the radar here because the radar does a better job of picking up what fell. And as you get in between radar sites, it lowers it a little bit. We know that there was a healthy swath that moved through Jamestown and areas just south of you as well, with numerous reports of 13 or more inches of snow. And that, for instance, like Judd, Cullum, your areas saw some heavy snow. So this doesn't track that exactly, but it works better as we're a little bit closer to the radar. Let's go ahead and take a look at the liquid estimates. So we're talking around 9/10 of an inch or so estimated by the Doppler radar from this, to around an inch of precipitation in northeastern parts of Norman County, Monoman County, and into southern parts of Polk County there. So quite a bit of precipitation working its way right through the FM area. It looks like it drops off pretty dramatically as we go south. That's going to be the case with our snowfall measurements as well, but we also know we're getting a lot farther away from the radar sites as we do that. Now, there's a radar site down here in Aberdeen, and essentially we're looking at a marriage of all of these different radar sites trying to create this product here. But essentially, there was some heavy snow right along the border, and then the Sisseton Hills picking up a little bit of extra. So where you see the purples on this, 3/4 of an inch to an inch or so of liquid equivalent moisture from the system, and that's this system on this day. So yesterday there was even more that fell through the overnight hours, and particularly in our western counties out here, you saw a little bit more. So a very wet system out there. 45 and partly sunny Carlstad, Minnesota at 2:30. How about 45 degrees? You go to Carlstad, that's right here as you turn off onto that Highway 11 corridor. So the beauty of our day today, you could see it on the visible satellite there. You can also see it on the radar. Not nearly as much going on as we go up into your neck of the woods here with regards to this storm system. So from Carlstad and Kitson County up the 11 corridor through Greenbush, a whole different day for those areas for sure. Thanks for your measurements, and thanks for helping me continue to cover this. I will leave you with a couple of photos here because you have uploaded a bunch of doozies out here, and check this out. I got tell your neighbors, tag a friend, because there's some good ones on here. Let me tell you that right now. It's just time to highlight it here. So Let's highlight this and share with a couple of people. All right, here's what's going on with regards to some of these photos. Amazing photos out here. Let's start right here. This is a 12-footer Moorhead. This is Hutch Johnson. I know that dude. Again, heavy snow, wet, compacting. If it was like 7 degrees colder, I'd be scared to find out what the snowfall reports would be out there. This is Ashland, Wisconsin. Thank you so very much for sharing your photo. Earlier in the day, you had sleet that was covering the entire area. It looks like you're starting to warm up. It says 36 compared to this morning's picture where it was completely covered at 7 a.m. This is 1:30 in the afternoon. Thanks, Ashland, Wisconsin. I know it's been slippery and a long spell for you as well. You know, if you don't have a ruler handy, and I can say that this was not light snow. This was heavy snow. So that's a misnomer here, but it looks to be about 1 bottle high there, Carla. This is Fort Town and Grigla. And, you know, again, if you don't have a ruler, putting something next to it that we know how high it is can help. So that's what's going on there. Thank you all. The sun is out, says BA. Thank you much. All right, here is a look at just under 11 inches. That looks like 10.5 inches in Dilworth. From Dusty J, thank you very much. As we look in West Fargo, that's a solid 10 inches reported earlier today at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, not that long ago. West Fargo, Kate reporting that looks like, oh, that's like 11.5 inches of heavy wet snow out there. Here's another 11-inch report. Annette, thank you very much. This is Ada, so you folks in Norman County getting a healthy dose of wet goodness as well. Fertile, picking up some much needed moisture. Oh, this looks very deep. Hold on, does that say 16? Yeah, so that's 15.5 inches. 15.5 inches in Fertile. I'm going to write that one down. Yeah, so that's a lot of heavy snow as that band made its way through there. Here we've almost lost the ruler. Hutch had to go get the yardstick, as you saw in my photo. Ashley here, South Moorhead, at 9:30 in the morning in the Village Green area, so that isn't too far, and we're looking at about 8.5 inches there. That correlates pretty nicely with what I was measuring. Look at this. Have a little fun with it, Chris. This is awesome. Lake Melissa, ready for the lake life. Look at the, what kind of doggy is that? Is that one of them Labradoodles? What a cute dog. Anyways, dogs being very polite and patient, waiting for the owner to get up and go have some fun at the lake. Isn't this hilarious? So all kinds of photos are welcome here at Hutch's Weather. We're seeing them all. HS in Grandin reporting a snow report here. I'll leave it to the report that you typed in here because it's a little bit hard from this angle to see exactly what that is, but it might be somewhere around that 10-inch mark in Grandin. And here is the snow bunny has been sighted, everybody. Sandra Wallace Jansen in Ada, having a little bit of fun in the backyard out there. You may as well. This is earlier. Jessica, I definitely think you need a bigger ruler next time you go out. That's 11 inches. And here's a big old yardstick out there. Lengby, this is 16.5 inches in Lengby. That is a big one there. All right, I'm making notes as we go through here because there's so many reports, which is a good thing, but it takes a lot of time to go through them and pass the information along. Lisbon, is that real? That is 14 inches, 14.5 inches or so. That's real. All right, very good. So we've got some deep snow. I'll go through these a little bit later so I don't have to go so thorough. This is slow. This is Laura, Deer Creek and near South Fargo. And then we have Bobby with our report of these trees really starting to sag under the weight of the trees in Moorhead, weight of the snow in Moorhead. Look at the fence even capturing some of these wet flags out there. Winders, thank you so very, very much. Snow-covered fence, beauty. Look at the trees here breaking. I don't know if that happened because of the snow, but this is a total of 20 inches in northern Minnesota. Linda, thank you so very, very much. Heavy snow yesterday and another dose today. 9 inches yesterday, 11 so far today, and you got more coming through parts of Beltrami County yet. Here's a picture from Lake Lida. Jennifer, thank you very much. Near Pelican Rapids, we have about 7.5 inches reported there. And here's a look in the very early morning hours from Thief River Falls. Here's a look in the South Fargo area. Deb, thank you very much. That's a very, very nice picture. As some of you put it, for December. Yeah, right. Okay. Lisa on the deck here taking a picture for us, and it looks like 10 inches reported there. Michael Pink in Fargo, look at that view out there. A lot of snow covering the garages. A lot of measurements here. This is a big old yardstick. Photo taken 9:30, 8 inches, South Fargo. Charles, thank you very much. Here's another used ruler. That's 9 inches in Perham. Alana, thank you. Allison saying rural Jamestown. 15 inches of flaky goodness out there. That's a keeper. Yuck. Megan in Enderlin. The road is plowed at, oh wait, the road is missing. It hasn't been plowed, and they have 16 inches of snow in Enderlin. When you come to think about it, isn't this a huge area of heavy snow? I mean, a lot of areas picking up 8 to 16 inches of snow. So it's not common to see this much snow, this widespread. Just think of all the moisture that must have been in those clouds. 16 inches in Enderlin. Kara, this was a picture. No power since 7:30 in the morning. Kara, oof. Bonkers. Bonkers indeed. Look at that. 11 inches. And didn't you just send me a report? It's now up to 13. I think I wrote that down. Yep. No power. That would come in handy. Shevlin. Looks like some wind whipping around with that there too. Thank you so much. Justice, thank you very much. Let me go back to Justice's photo. Cullum, thank you so much. 14.7 inches. There's your snow report from Cullum. Thank you much. Here's a look at Sarah in southwest of Jamestown. After plowing and along the walking path, look at that. That looks like 16 to 17 inches of snowy goodness there. Shevlin, 10 inches. Ugh. Here is a tape measure when you don't have a yardstick. Megan capturing this view of almost 15, or it looks like a solid 15 inches of snow in Enderlin. Thank you for sharing your photo there. How about 10 inches in Lengby? Look at this. The birds are really excited because there's some stuff to eat and they don't have to dig through the snow. And this fella here, really enjoying the day in Bemidji. Laura, thank you for sharing your photo. This is Isabella out enjoying the front fresh fallen snow after a bath. Yeah, they come in a little wet and soggy, don't they? All right. Here's another one, Lexi, West Fargo. These pictures go on and on and on. In the music here, I will go ahead and make sure they're uploaded, and you'll get to see even more of them kind of going through. Your reports are appreciated. I'm going to keep the live stream running. Kara update from Craigness. The power is still out. Terrible. So offline here, I will show this. I'm wishing my my app would hook up to the computer, but I'm not going to stop the stream to restart the computer. So with that, we'll just go ahead and take a look at what's going on with the latest radar scan here. So Detroit Lakes, the heavy band of snow is moving in on you. Bagley, it's right over you now. Wolf Lake. Now this is what the radar sees at cloud level. What's falling down to the ground and where it's hitting the ground might be a little bit different, but we got big time snowflakes here in the cloud. Those may be falling on the ground out here near Frazee. Okay. As we look at the Detroit Lakes area, there's a pretty healthy band of snow working its way over the top of Detroit Lakes to Pelican Rapids right now. If you're in the Cormorant Lake areas, Vergas, we're seeing it there. We're seeing it down towards Pelican Rapids. So Pelican Pete's going to pick up another dose of pretty healthy snow in that area. There's another band of some heavier snow not far from DL out here as you go out east on 34. So this is height of Land Lake area. As you're heading out towards Park Rapids moving through. Now Nadawash to Bagley has a very healthy dash of snow making its way through. This is the one that has a chance to impact and add some insult to injury too for you folks in Solway, Wilton, Bemidji, on up towards Black Duck and 10 Strike, a chance to see a little bit more there. So Red Lakes area, particularly Red Lake itself, Red Bee going to have a chance at seeing some of this heavier band of snow. And we already saw some of these pictures from 72 right here south of Badette. And the snow amounts on the road, they're completely covering the road surface. Williams, a report from that area showing 6.5 inches of snow. The time on this measurement, 2:07, not that long ago. So a healthy dose of snow near Lake of the Woods there on the south side of the big lake. And this band is moving through. Snow will be ending in Fargo within the next... Geez, it's still kind of sitting there. So it does look like the models had it clearing out of here by about 2 to 3 o'clock. And it does look like that's going to be the case. If I look out my window, it still is snowing lightly, though, in Moorhead at this time. So we've probably got another, I said half hour at the beginning of this broadcast, but look, it hasn't moved. It's just kind of sat here. The thick, heavier snow has moved off towards Detroit Lakes, though. So we at least just have this light snow. Little additional accumulation. It might be as much as a ½ inch or so in some places. And that's what's going on in Fargo. But we'll track this for you, and I'll be back here and keep you updated. You're watching Hutch's Weather. I'd sure appreciate it if you're just joining. If you'd consider hitting the subscribe button on my YouTube channel. Don't forget about hitting the notification bell so you get notified when I'm going live. If you have not done so yet, it would be also awesome if you downloaded my weather app, Hutch's Weather. Search Hutch's Weather in your app store today. It's free. I send notifications out when I'm coming back on the live stream to provide an update for you. And I send notifications out when there's important information to get out to you right to your mobile device. No matter where you are, whether the power's on or off, if you have Hutch's Weather app, you pop it on and you can watch this very live stream wherever you are. So, Kara, I don't know how you're watching without power, but good on you. Maybe right from the app, maybe right from a laptop where you have some batteries, or maybe you have a generator to help out too, whatever it is. I'm glad that you're able to join me and provide some feedback from your area. I appreciate it very much. So we'll be back as we go through the event. Don't forget to keep uploading your event, storm, total, snowfall reports. We've had a ton of them throughout the event today. The final totals and tallies will be coming up a little bit later. So we'll leave you with this, and here you see me, and I will ramp up the music and ramp down my voice. You're looking at model guidance here that steps through 1 hour at a time, so you can kind of watch your area right here on my stream anytime to see what the latest model is doing with regards to the snowfall, where it is and where it's ending. You're going to see on the screen right above me in the panel there, the precision radar going through a loop of locations impacted by today's snow event. In the upper right hand corner, we've got your snow reports. Many of these will be updated by yours truly here as we go through and we get the higher totals. Many of these are from a little bit earlier in the day, so I will make efforts now to update that. That's what keeps me busy. And Kara's on her phone. At least she can watch and hear what's going on. That's fantastic, Kara. Keep that puppy charged if you can. It's hard without electricity. Upper right-hand corner has the forecast graphics, including the snowfall amounts for different time frames. I'll be touching that up as well. Thank you for watching. If you do not have a chance to catch up with me again, I wish you the very happiest and pleasantest of Easter Sundays. Weather-wise, I hope you can travel where you want to. Our road crews are working very hard to get things cleaned up here. This will exit central Minnesota by around 6 to 7 or 8 tonight, and then it continues into eastern Minnesota until about 8 to 11 o'clock tonight before it zips out of here based on the model. Here's a look at the active warnings. So if those change, you'll see it right here. The red is a winter storm warning, the blue a winter weather advisory. The advisories have been dropped for some counties, but still Fargo, we are in the winter storm warning continuing as the snow does continue to fall. And that's the way I see it.
When you stay prepared, consider giving the stream a thumbs up. It helps the system push these alerts to more people in the path of the storm. chat. Keep the reports coming. Hutch is monitoring your local updates in real time. If you're seeing a change in the weather in your area, drop your city and current conditions now.
And hello, everybody. It's meteorologist Hutch Johnson 420. And as you can see, our snow band is quickly racing out, falling apart. The sun is shining. Unbelievable views from the valley. Unbelievable snowfall totals. And I'm going to ask this right up front. In the comments here, give me your final snowfall totals. If you're still getting some, just wait. That's okay. And the rest of my job through the evening will be tallying these up, reporting them to the National Weather Service, and wrapping up the coverage today. Thank you so very much for being a part of this. We have unbelievable totals. A number of you over 15 inches of snow. It's been reported. A lot of winners out there, if you want to call it a winner. But we're all winners when you look out the window and you see the sun shaking the snow off those trees, melting it as fast as it's coming on there. It's just absolutely beautiful out there today. Here's a look at what's going on with regards to that satellite. And if you watch close enough, the thick clouds here, the thicker they are with shadows, those are the snow producing bands. Here's the leftovers, baby. That's what we get to shovel for the next couple of weeks. But actually, the sun's already going to work on what's going on down here in South Dakota. That sunshine melting it from the Badlands right northward. And this was a good 8 to 10 inches of snow in this area, and it's going fast like ice cream on a summer day. Afternoon to you too, Magic Moon. Good to see you out there. Northern Grace, hi everybody. Jessica, thank you for your final snowfall total. We love them all out there. Let's go ahead and see what's going on. Did I just get kicked off? My live stream has ended, so let me go here. I will hit stop. That was on my Facebook page, so for those of you watching on Facebook, I'll be right back. Here we go. And let's see if that went right back on. Hello, everybody. Can I don't know if you can see me. Regardless, let's go with our YouTube channel right here and talk about this as I try to troubleshoot. It looks like I'm back on the old Facebook channel. So while I'm checking all of this fancy and detailed information, I do want to thank everybody for joining me. If you're new to my channel, my name is meteorologist Hutch Johnson. And for the better part of the last, well, almost 30 years, I've been covering the weather as a chief meteorologist across the region here in the Northern Plains, and it's a pleasure and an honor to continue to do it for you on this very, very winter-like day across the region. Let me go to my live here and see that we're up and streaming once again. It does look like I am. I'll just double check and make sure. And this is what we have going on. Okay, it does look like we have a live. I think it did dump me off here, so that's okay. I'll go back and update my Facebook page later, but for those of you who are right now watching, thank you and welcome on my YouTube channel. Go ahead and give me a follow. Here is a look at the snow. Now let's take you to the snowfall totals, and I've got so many from you and so many great photos from you as well, and this is really the headline of what's been going on today is the sheer amount of snow, and then, of course, what you all do with it. So here we have the Snow Cat winding up in Oaks, Minnesota by Kayla. Thank you very much for sharing. Check this one out here. We got the basketball hoops time. March Madness is over, baby. It's April. I don't know what you'd call it, but it ain't fun. We got that. Candy, thank you for sharing. Buffalo, North Dakota. And look at this. You know, you got a couple of bunnies spotted out in the field out there as we get a little bit closer to Easter Sunday. And it does look like there'll be in some improving travel conditions across the region as well. Kenzie, thank you for your Tower City shot there. Tower City, North Dakota. Now, as you look at this, it says, just no grilling, just chilling. And that's all we're doing out here today in Lemoore, North Dakota. Thanks, Liz. I appreciate that very much. Thanks for uploading. Here's 12.5 inches northeast of Ada by a few miles. Jessica, thank you so very, very much. And it says 12.5 inches. 10 miles northeast of Ada. 13 inches of snow. This is Kurt. This is the Oakport area in north parts of Fargo. And now as we take a look, we have another big report. Nathan here around that 3 or 4 inch mark out there on that particular report, maybe a little earlier. And I believe that's Fargo Moorhead. But Nick, Lisbon, look at the furniture out there. Looks cozy and inviting. Here's another Nathan shot, about 8 inches. A Nick shot from Lisbon, 18. All right, almost 18. It's 17.5 great inches of snow somewhere in there. Nick, thank you so very much for sharing your photo. Wow. You know what? All the youth out there getting out there, but this guy right here, Trayson, I got to hand it to you, in Eldridge, North Dakota. He's out there cleaning the car for the parents, making sure everything's ready to go. And it says here that he takes pride in that. And I am just, very proud of this young man. I remember seeing a photo uploaded back in my television days from this guy, and he's been doing it his whole life. And he loves to scoop the deck off too. Maybe an entrepreneurial spirit from that young man. Sarah here in the Sheldon area, 14 to 15 inches of snow reported there. Thank you so much for sharing your photo. Here's another one. Oh, let's see, dialing in 11 inches or so. It says almost a foot there from Terry in West Fargo from the two systems as they've worked their way through. So an abundance of pictures, an abundance of these. You can scroll through them, but there are dozens of pictures here like this one from Lisbon. You get out there, you got yourself a pink pastel snow bunny out there, and that's a lot of fun as we head into the day. So we do want to keep rocking and rolling, but this is where you can also now upload to my website, hit the viewer photos button, and then upload the photos. And this is where you can show me the final totals that you got out there from this system. And you know what? It won't take long after the clouds clear for this system to work its way out. So back to the weather we go, and as we take a look at what's going on that radar, we do see that we have those snow showers that are just now exiting places like Bemidji after one's making its way through the Bena area out here out toward Cass Lake and Walker. That's that main band. It's quickly exiting off to the east. There will still be about a good few hours of snow potential from International Falls through Ely and the northern portions of northeast parts of Minnesota, and that's about it. A quick check at your road conditions, because if you want to travel, things will be improving from now on out throughout all of western Minnesota and eastern North Dakota and eastern South Dakota. But we still have some areas that have some, well, let's just say tough travel conditions. So you can get this on my app and website as well. Just keep that in mind. But as we take a look, we have returned things to much more normal conditions across north central parts of South Dakota rather. And in northeast South Dakota, the last to see some snow, we still have some blue dashed roads out here. And that would indicate that we do have a few areas that still have some snow on the area roads in and around Sisseton. So some wet roads and some roads that have a little bit of patchy slush on them here and there. And that's about it. So things are improving just about as fast as they unimproved as we went into the month of April, unbelievably so. Now, check it out, North Dakota. Here's a look at what's going on. And again, as far as those travel alerts go through our region, they have been in place in the southeast. Those have been lifted. Now, the only area, all the green, shows that we have seasonal road conditions across most of western North Dakota and central North Dakota. So if you're traveling over the hills and through the woods, you're in better shape to get out and do some traveling. Now in the southeast zone here, we still have purple, which means some snow-covered roads out there, and that's what's going on there. So we do definitely see, as we look out towards Valley City, bright blue sunshine, the interstate is looking much better. You know, our road crews have been just kicking it and going after it for the longest of time, and they are still out here. All of these little yellow asterisks you see there, you can click on them. Those are the snow plows. You got to turn them on, but once you do, you can click on them. You can jump in the seat of the snow plow and say, what does it look like as we go Interstate 94 out towards Castleton? And here's right in the front seat of the plow. So, you know, there's still work to be done, but they're getting it done. And once this sun that is out here right now, just as you can see right here, it's glistening off the snowbanks out there. It's absolutely a beautiful scene, if you want to call it that. Some of us are ready for it to be gone, but you get the picture. It's basically a scene that is sunny and bright, and that sunshine's going to go to work to really heating, melting, and evaporating moisture on those things by night tonight. Things should be looking up. I-29 south of Fargo, looking great as you go down in that general direction of the South Dakota border towards Morton. That's good news there. Here's a look at that road out to Wahpeton between the Morton exit and Wahpeton, and things are improving there as well. And in Minnesota, we still have some snowfall. We can confirm or deny that here as we take a look at what's going on in and around Bemidji, because just over your area on the radar, I'm looking at a couple of flakes flipping and flapping and flopping through. Watching from Grand Forks, North Dakota. Solom, good to have you on board. Now let's take a look as we go right up into the well, let's go north of Bemidji as we go up toward the Red Lake area. Here it is. We still got some pretty soupy looking roads up in that part of Minnesota. So do know that the snow showers are continuing there. When it's all wrapped up, if you want to report to me either here or upload a photo on my page, Give me your final snowfall total for the area. That would be very, very helpful. Now, if I get down and out toward the Solway area on Highway 2, we can see we still have soupy looking air, fog and snow fog, and flakes the size of my knuckles rocking the pavement out there on Highway 2 right now as you go between, just off to the west of Bemidji. My brain is going, it's been a long week, let's just say that, and I know you feel it too. South of Winger out here in Mahnomen, look at the pavement. It's starting to dry out here really nicely. That's good. I want to take a look at the interstate corridor here. We see some pink roads completely covered as that area near Rolog out there. So as you're going down, it looks like Highway 9 and Highway 32, a couple of those thoroughfares might still have some spots that have a little tough action. Let's go off the interstate here, south and east of Fargo, Interstate 94. And this looks dandy out here with the clouds on the clearing trend. Get down towards Rothsay. Okay, we still have a little bit of soupiness there. This won't last too long as this winds out of the area. Now, as you get down a little farther south and east, and this is a look at the area not far from Alexandria. And this is a tower shot. So you're up into the cloud level there just a little bit. You get down to the ground and it's not quite as bad. These timestamps near Fergus Falls, 417. So they're pretty recent photos here showing us that we still do have some soupy conditions there in Otter Tail County. That again was Fergus Falls, not Alexandria. A little farther down the road, we still have gray skies as we move down into that Evansville zone, 83 miles east of Fargo on Interstate 94. Now we get into the St. Cloud area, and look, it's pretty much better. Still cloudy, but better. So now as we look out toward Duluth, pardon me, we do have some snow showing up on the radar in the north part of Duluth here. It does look a little bit on the rough side there. Pardon me. My apologies, as my throat has a frog in it. And I haven't even seen any frogs lately. So roads are improving. The radar showing things ending up. And I'm asking for your help in reporting your details. A sip of water. I definitely need to go get one, Magic Moon. So I'm going to do that right quick.
You're watching Hutch's Weather live. We're taking a quick breather. While Hutch prepares the next data sweep, check in from your neck of the woods in the chat. Let us know what you're seeing out your window. It's how we stay weather aware together. Stick around. Hutch is back in a moment to take your questions and track the latest alerts.
All right, Psalm, I like the chamomile tea reference. That's a good idea. Okay, so we still have this snow that's exiting from International Falls down out towards that area of Grand Rapids and heading out through Walker. Still a batch of snow hibbing and off into the Duluth area out there. Thank you for the hearts. I do feel a little bit better, but this is what's going on right now. This system is wrapping its way up and out of here. It does look like conditions will be fairly quiet. One last look at your hour-by-hour forecast. And remember, no matter where you are or when you're there, if you have Hutch's Weather app and you've downloaded that puppy, go ahead and go to it with me and follow along right now. We'll do it together. But you can watch the hour-by-hour forecast right on the app. So keep that in mind as we go through here. You want to push on the button and start the app up. And once you do, it gets to running and you're looking pretty good. Now, as you go down to the map down here, it's called Radar Plus for a reason, because it does more than just show the radar. You can actually change what's plotted here. Right now, as I zoom out, here's our storm system. So this is the radar, and I can tell it says the national radar is plotted. If I click on this button right here by going like this, we can change this from the national radar to temperature, infrared satellite. Visible satellite is what lets you see the snow on the ground, by the way, which is a cool tool, which I just showed you. So you can look at that on here, but as you go down, here's the future radar, and it goes out 24 hours. And it only goes out 24 hours because you get much beyond that, and models tend to get a little wishy-washy and changing of their minds. So here's a look at the forecast then as we load this up. Now, there goes the exit of the system, and on Easter Sunday, we do have some areas of flurries dancing their way through as we go through the day, here and there. So passing light snow showers and clouds in the heat of the day on your Easter Sunday morning. So that's what it looks like in your forecast. You can zoom in. And another tool on here, once you've plotted that, is to look at snowfall accumulations. This also goes out one day or 24 hours. So we don't let it go out too many days because then the forecast gets a little bit less than able to be precise. Let's just put it that way nicely. So here's a look at the snowfall totals as we go through the remainder of the day. You can see it's mainly in central Minnesota, and then a couple of streamers of snow, generally under 1/2 of an inch possible. They're going to be quick hit and miss flurries of snow tomorrow. Not a lot to worry about. And then my recommendation, let's go through your forecast. And if you want to drop a city name on here, I'll show you how to put it in the app here, and I'll show you your extended forecast for your hometown right here on Hutch's Weather app. So when we go through, let's go to the home page out here, and I wanted to show you that this tab here has currents and forecast text information, and there's a tool in here that allows you to see in your area when the snow stops. So we're going to go ahead and say, you know what? It's still snowing out by Duluth. So all we got to do here is go up to this menu here, the menu bars, the 3 dots. And if we go to the locations and we start typing in Duluth, so we're going to add a location right here, boom. And we'll say, okay, let's see what that forecast looks like. And we're going to search for the city. So go to the search bar and we'll type in DULUTH. And there it is, Duluth, Minnesota. Boom, it's done, it's loaded. I'm done typing it in. That is the city I want to add. And now it adds it to my list of locations. So now we can go back. I'm done here. I'm going to leave all of the watches, warnings, and alerts on for Duluth. And now I just scroll through the different cities on my list. There's Grand Forks. There's Detroit Lakes. Detroit Lakes still has an alert. As we go through, we continue Williston, okay. Bismarck, okay. We keep looking. There's Bemidji. We have a winter storm warning still for Bemidji. Okay, let's move on. Oh, there's Akron, Ohio. Okay, well, let's move on through Akron, Ohio, and Fargo, and boom, here's Duluth. Okay, so we still have a winter weather advisory in Duluth. The forecast right now, we have 32 degrees, and there's your current conditions. If you expand this, you can see everything from your wind chill, by the way, and all of the details, including the moon phase, sunrise, sunset times. It's all here on Hutch's Weather, but the hourly forecast is the key to deciding when that snow might stop in your neck of the woods based on the model here on the app. So as we go through the evening hours tonight, notice the precipitation percentage chances. As that goes down, your chance of accumulating precipitation goes down. So notice that by the time we get through 7, it starts dropping from 80 to 60 at 6 o'clock, and then we keep going down. So by the time we get to 8 or 9 o'clock, the chance of snow in precipitation, maybe in the form of rain, in and around Duluth, should be leaving the area. Temperatures fall tonight, and then we go into your Easter Sunday. If you're getting up early and heading to an Easter sunrise service, temperatures in Duluth will be in the 20s and northwest wind at about 15 miles per hour as you go through the day. And then through the middle of the day, boom, things are looking like they're pretty good. But here come a couple of those afternoon showers that we talked about. Only a 20% chance. What does that mean? It means 20% of the area around Duluth will get at least some measurable precipitation. 20% doesn't mean light, 20% doesn't mean heavy. It just means only a little or a few people in the area will see it. So that's a look at that. That's how you look up your Duluth forecast for the hourly. And then we can go right back to Duluth here. And let's go up to the daily forecast. And here's your 7-day forecast. Folks, I drew this back to 7 days from 10 days for a reason. The 10-day forecast is just flat out terrible. It's terrible. You know why? Models going out that far, particularly in these transitional seasons, have a very difficult time forecasting something like we just went through. So a few days ago, I had several of you text me, email me, and say, Hutch, your app says our temperature is going to be in the mid-70s. Is that right? Well, gosh, no, it wasn't close. And so with that, I just only want it to go out to 7. That's as far as we can go and still be fairly consistent. You get into the heat of the summer season where it's long stretches of warm weather. It does a little bit better on a 10 to 15 day forecast, but not very well, not very well. And it's very difficult to be precise. I don't want to put a precise number on something unless we have skill to do it. And believe me, you get down beyond days 5, even 4, and the percentage of accuracy goes way down in these forecasts. I do the best I can, but we're not going to let the model run rampant here and draw you out to 10 days and then have you angry with Hutcherino here because it was way off. Because people make plans, you know. So I want to be honest with you, and I want to let you know what I honestly think about it. And if I think my confidence is low, I'll tell you in my 7-day videos. So watch out. Brad in Phoenix. Brad PHX. I logged back in and Hutch is still going after 8 hours. And I will tell you what, it's going to be time for me to get some pizza, Brad, after a bit. But I'll tell you, it's been a long week. We had a 2-day storm system that we started with in early April, and now we've had a 2-dayer again that started out, and I think we're all ready for a break, and Hutch definitely plans to take one. Now, as you go through and scroll through your 7-day forecast here, no matter where you're from, Brad, if you're in Phoenix, you can add Phoenix, and you can even add Fargo-Moorhead on this area map if you want to here, to scroll through and check on what's going on in this area if you're in the area. Again, it spells out the morning temperatures and conditions, the afternoon, what you can expect for the day. It's all right here. So it's really a pretty powerful app, and some of the better tools for you, and a lot of you have used this today, is you've uploaded pictures. So you scroll down just a little bit here and you're going to see, here's the photo upload button. If you load this, you can either look at photos that other people have loaded on here, right here, click on it, and shazam, shadizzle, we are good to go. And look at this. It's amazing. It really is. You got everything here, and you scroll down just a little bit, and here you go. There's your snow cat out there, and this is where the button you push to upload your latest and greatest. And you could scroll through some of the fun photos that have been uploaded today and beyond today as well. So that's what's going on there. It's a really good tool. There's a lot more available on the app too. Once you go back to the home screen, I just want to let you know, I have such, I don't know, just a warm heart as we head into the Easter weekend here for all of you that contributed stars to Hutch and also made contributions on the old YouTube channel here. I just appreciate all of that. You can also, if you want to have some swag, head on over to Hutch's shop here. So down a little bit lower, you'll see, oh, Hutch Gear. Let's see what that's about. And you click on that, and then there's some options for you to get some designs that we've made. And you actually asked for some swag, and we got it. So there's different designs here. And basically, you can scroll through and look at the designs by design, or you can look at the products individually. There's sweatshirts. There's stuff for the pooch. There's stuffs for coffee drinkers. And actually, you name it, there's quite a bit of stuff on here. And then you could take a little bit of things home. Thanks so much for your support there. The snow reports that I show you, I asked you today, would you please give me some snowfall reports? And I'm asking you now, please put in or upload photos of your pictures. I pass that along to the National Weather Service, and boom, here comes the map. The same map I've been showing you throughout the day is right here on Hutch's Weather, and you can scroll around through here and you can look at some of these snowfall reports for the Fargo area. So I'm zoomed into Fargo, and here's 10.4 inches. I know it's a little hard to read on the phone, but my phone, I can read it. 13.5 inches there in parts of southern and central Fargo-Moorhead. So there's some big time snowfall reports that are coming in right now as the snow is ending. Oh, I see a 17. It looks like we have a new winner here. This is Lisbon, 17.5 inches. That's a big shovel trouble kind of day right there. So the tools are all put together on this app for you, and you get to take part in it because you're sharing information with me. And guess what? You get to see the process of how it ends up here with the National Weather Service so that they know what's fallen as well. All your weather alerts are available right here. And not only that, if you download the app on occasion, I'm making videos here on how-tos, how to set the app up, how to use certain parts of the app, just like we're doing right now, so that you can learn a few new things. And I'll keep adding to that library as we go through. So thanks for everything. You guys are the wonderfulest. I don't care what anybody else says about you. Your forecast has been updated. Let's go right now to the latest hour by hour one more time. And as we go through the rest of the evening, I'll sneak over to this side so you can see that by the time we get to about now, it's going to be exiting the central part of Minnesota between 5 and 6 o'clock. It will continue in eastern Minnesota, particularly the Ely area, St. Louis County and the Arrowhead, all the way into maybe the 8 o'clock hour before it winds down, and then just a couple of flurries as we go through. As far as the additional snowfall goes, that's an important factor. Let's go ahead and update you on that. It looks like on the outside here near the international border, so if you are up there and you are in International Falls, you could get another 1 to 4 inches of snow in and around that area, and on towards Thunder Bay, you have another 3 to 4 inches coming your way as we get off into Ontario over there. And the extended forecast is always here for you on Hutch's Weather and on the website and on the app. But the snow is done. This is what I've had on the 7-day planner for a few days, 6 to 10 inches for Fargo. Well, we got right at 10, and some of us have 12. I have 12 in South Moorhead, and up to 15 in the area. Well, we hit a 17 out there, so that's it. And again, the temperatures tomorrow will be with passing clouds, northwest winds, a little bit on the cool side for this time of the year. Average is 48, and we're well below that. And it looks even colder as we go into Monday and Tuesday as a cold Canadian high pressure system moves in. After that, it looks a little quieter. We have a cool front moving through on Wednesday. Right now, it does not look like a big deal. There are a couple of systems between about the 9th and the 15th here that'll be moving through that I'll keep my eyes on for you. But other than that, I think we can all enjoy the rest of the Holy Week here and take a little bit of quiet time. I am looking for, and I will continue to go through your observations, your photo uploads, as well as your reports of snow. When it's all done, tallied and done and final, go through that. I have here loaded up. Let's see, where did I put that? I'm going to go to this page right here. It's my screen, so I'm not leaving you here, but I'll make something full screen. So on my 4-panel, here's a look at some of these pictures that people have been uploading throughout the day. And then right over here, this is the one I want. Let's make this full screen right here. So now we've got a look.
We're taking a quick breather. While Hutch prepares the next data sweep, check in from your neck of the woods in the chat.
Turn down my voice here, my music. There we go. There it is. Okay, so I just want to make this a little more bigger. And I'll just bring her up top here. Okay, so this is a look at the snowfall report so far. So Fargo, Moorhead, 10 to 15 inches. It's flying by pretty quick. Langby and Ellendale, 10.5 inches or so, 8. A lot of these were reported by 10 a.m. and they have since been increased. But if we go ahead and scroll through to this first frame here, you're going to notice that we definitely have a significant amount of snow. So let me see. I'm going to put this on the manual advance. Here we go. Okay, so let's go here. This is a look at the Fargo to Jamestown area. Jamestown, 15 inches. We do have some 17-inch reports south of Jamestown, Cullum. I'll get this all updated for you. So if these look old to you, they are. That there's still some snow falling, but the 10 to 13.5 for the Fargo Moorhead area here seems to be right on with the reports I'm seeing around the community here. So if you do, when it's all said and done, have an updated report to me, I sure would appreciate that being delivered as we continue to go through the scene here. So keep that in mind. I'll keep you updated right here on Hutch's Weather and hutchesweather.com. This will be the end of the stream for now as I compile information, and then I will post and have details for you about the final facts of the storm system, so you can look for that as we go through the remainder of the day. But for now, I'm meteorologist Hutch Johnson. I sure appreciate each and every one of you being a part of today's broadcast. And Head over to my website anytime. It's there for you. Find out more information about that trip that I'm taking this summer. I'm sure looking forward to a day off. I'm looking forward to visiting the country that my parents immigrated here from, my great-grandparents immigrated here from, and that is Norway. I'm really looking forward to that. Magic Moon, thanks for the sky-high views of the weather and forecasts, and thank you for being a part of it too. I couldn't do it without you, and you all are the very best. Thanks so much. Here's a little information on that Norway trip. Oofta! You haven't heard? Hutch is heading to Norway, and I want you to join me August 16th through the 26th. We fly out to beautiful Oslo, and that's just where the fun begins. We see the mountain country, we see fjord country, and more cities along the way, and it will be one heck of a trip, but it wouldn't be the same without you. Call Brecky Tour and Travel today to reserve your spot.
This has been a Hutch's Weather Update with Chief Meteorologist Hutch Johnson. Follow us on Facebook and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Wait, you forgot the new app. You're right, I did. Don't forget to download our new app. Oh, now let's rock. Thanks for watching Hutch's Weather.